Stellt euch bitte vor, und was ist euer Hobby?
Ich bin der Adrian oder Scooter und ich spiele schon mein halbes Leben Warcraft 3.
Ich bin der Ganze, ich bin der StarCraft 2 Spieler.
Ich bin die Anouk oder Daisy und ich spiele Age of Empires.
RTS ist ein totes Genre, welches die Boomer probieren am Leben zu halten.
Es hat ein bisschen etwas.
Immer wenn meiner Mutter ein Götti-Bub kommt, der spielt irgendwie Minecraft und Fortnite. Finden sie so, die Anouk, die spielt auch Games. Und dann erzählt sie aber leider, dass es Age of Empires ist und dann lacht er mich aus. Und der ist so 14, 15, das ist richtig traurig. Wer noch StarCraft 2 spielt, denkt, es ist 2012 und hört Dubstep.
Also das kann man schon auch noch hören, zum einen.
Nein.
Ich gebe schon zu, von 2010 ist StarCraft 2 rausgekommen und dann in 3 Teilen bis 2014. Seither ist natürlich viel vergangen und viele neue Spiele sind aufgetaucht. Aber ich glaube nach wie vor, es ist und bleibt eines der besten RTS-Games. Und ich freue mich auf StarCraft 3.
Kommt das raus?
Irgendwann vielleicht.
Da hat jemand noch Traum. Nach 20 Jahren hat Age of Empires 2 immer noch ein verbuggtes Pathfinding.
Bei jedem Patch wird das Pathfinding gefixt. Also vielleicht ein bisschen, aber es hat auch Features. Zum Beispiel, wenn du so eine Einheit hast, die moonwalken.
Das nennt man ein Feature.
Ja, das ist ein Feature.
Niemand unter 50 spielt StarCraft.
Nein, das stimmt nicht. Nein, alle über 50 können es gar nicht mehr spielen.
Das ist falsch.
Der Start von Age of Empires 2 ist langweiliger als 2 Stunden Mathe.
Nein, das ist meditativ. Das tut dich mental vorbereiten, auf was kommt. Und du musst schon dann bereit sein, weil wenn du dann so 3 Sekunden Idle Time hast, das ist ganz schlecht.
Bei StarCraft ist es ein bisschen ähnlich.
Aha, okay. Ja.
Man kann halt entscheiden von Anfang an, was für eine Strategie man fährt. Und unter Umständen dauert am Anfang auch ein bisschen, bis etwas passiert. Aber wenn es passiert, dann lohnt es sich.
Cool an Warcraft ist halt, die Karten sind relativ klein. Das heisst, du kannst schon relativ schnell schon beim Gegner sein und beim Creep irgendwie angreifen. Und von dem her, es ändert sehr schnell. Also in den ersten 2-3 Minuten kann schon das ganze Game drehen eigentlich. Wenn StarCraft 2 Spieler abschalten wollen, spielen sie Age of Empires.
Nein, das stimmt nicht. Ich glaube, irgendwann wird es halt langweilig, wenn man nur irgendwie 4 Fraktionen kann spielen oder so.
Es sind sogar nur 3.
Ich weiß gar nicht, ob es Teamgames gibt in StarCraft.
Das gibt es, ja.
Und wie viele Leute
Das
können
spielt
spielen?
noch niemand.
Spielt niemand?
Nein.
Aber das ist das Beste.
Mal.
Wenn du im 1 gegen 1 verlierst, dann bist du schuld. Aber wenn du im Teamgame verlierst, dann sind deine Teammitglieder schuld.
Sehr gut.
Das ist
Normal, ganz normal, klar, ja.
Das ist das Erste, was man lernt, wenn man online
Das
spielt. So. StarCraft ist nur Warcraft für Noobs.
Nein, natürlich nicht. StarCraft verbinde ich mit einem schnellen Schachspiel, wo man extrem viel nachdenken muss, extrem flexibel sein. Warcraft verbinde ich hingegen eher ein bisschen mit StarCraft für Arme vielleicht.
Wow. Warcraft hat Helden und Orks und riesige Äxte.
Was will man mehr?
Für RTS-Szenen allgemein gibt es relativ wenig Beef, sage ich jetzt mal. Es ist nicht so wie irgendwie COD gegen CS oder irgendetwas. Wir sind eigentlich alle froh, spielt überhaupt noch jemand RTS. Irgendwann nach 10 Jahren, wenn mal wieder ein neues RTS rauskommt, loggt man sich irgendwo ein im Internet und spielt wieder gegen die genau gleichen Leute, die man schon vor 20 Jahren gespielt hat.
Was geht ab, Bern? Herzlich willkommen. Welcome everyone. Thank you guys for coming out. Hey, hi. Nice to meet you guys. Hi, esport fans. Hello, Herofest attendants. Hello, gaming and esport enjoyers all around Switzerland. Thank you guys for coming out, and I'd say let's enjoy some esports together. My name is Rito, however you want to call me. I'm going to be your host for the next 3 days as we celebrate digital competition here at the Herofest in Bern, like every year. Our next few hours and the weekend, luckily, are filled with action, fun, strategy and competition. We start off today with the Digitec Playground Cup featuring Age of Empires 2. Tomorrow around 12 o'clock we have the Swisscom Hero Cup in League of Legends, followed by the cosplay contest, which is then followed in the evening by the Swisscom Hero League finals in not CS2 but CSGO. I'm looking forward how we're going to manage that. And Sunday concludes the Herofest eSport activations, where we crown the Swisscom Hero League Brawl Stars champion, a mobile eSport showdown like no other in Switzerland. With that being said, please guys, grab your snacks, grab your drinks, because our first spectacle is about to unfold as we're looking for the Digitec Playground champion in Age of Empires 2, a true video game classic. Our tournament, which held 164 players in both qualifiers, which is a pretty high number for Swiss tournament standards, is divided in 2 parts. We have on one side the Grümpi tournament and the other side the Pro tournament. The Grümpi tournament, I think you guys out of Switzerland know what the Grümpi is more oriented towards the casual, fun players, maybe not such try-hard players, and is going to be played in a best of 1, which means only 1 match. And on the other side, our Pro tournament is going to be played in best of 3. And yeah, the people there are a little bit, let's say more skilled, and they try hard a little bit more. I don't think I have to explain to you guys what a Pro tournament is. When it comes to explaining Age of Empires, there are anyways people much more qualified than I am. That's why I'm here on stage, and these 2 beautiful guys there are in their caster booth. So please, welcome with me. Thank you guys for being out here. Our wells of wisdom, aka our 2 casters for this event. Thank you very much for being here, Dave and Ellie.
Thank you, Rito, and thank you everyone for showing up here, and thank you everyone for tuning in online. Welcome to the Digitec Playground Cup. I'm Dave, and I'm here with Ellie, and we're going to be taking you through this one. And as you already heard, we're going to start off with our Grümpi finals, and this is incredible for these 2 players. These are 1150 elo, if you're familiar with that on the Age of Empires 2 ladder. Slightly above average where most people sit, but definitely not average for what we usually see in tournaments. These guys were nervous coming in here, and I think they're going to get more and more nervous as we introduce them. This is going to be a great showdown, and hopefully we're going to have a lot of fun here with this best of one match. So everything is on the line for this one game.
It's just one game. It's a best of one. You know it. It's not that they're not familiar with playing some best of ones. The qualifier was also quite competitive. So actually, we had two qualifiers. The first one, Cellular managed to take the win with one of my favorite civs, the Mongols. And joining him in the grand final here is also Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza, who managed to win. Oh, sorry, I messed up the civs. Magyars for the first qualifier and Mongols getting Frozen his spot here today. I don't know if those civs will be available. I know a lot of people not really wanting to play against the Mongols, are quite a strong civ for sure, but really looking forward to that best of one coming on up. And let's take a look at the prize pool as well. So definitely some money on the line. We have a $500 gift certificate for the first place and the 300, or francs, sorry. We're in Switzerland, we have to be talking in francs for the second place as well. So I don't think there's going to be a loser here today, if you really think about it.
No, there's not. And it's not only the prize pool, it's the experience of being on a stage, right? Especially players of this level. It's not every day. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It may never happen again for these guys. And like I said, the nerves were there before. And I gave them some advice earlier, or I was talking to Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza, and I was saying, you're going to be nervous until you lose that one villager, or until you make the first mistake, or your first army dies. Hopefully it's not the entire game that's on the line, right? Hopefully it's just that singular moment. And once that happens, it's like, what else could be worse than that? Let's just get down to the game and keep on moving. So hopefully we're going to have a super entertaining match. The settings are the same as the qualifiers if you were tuning in for that. So I believe the map will be shown to us in a little bit here, but it's going to be a 40-minute time limit as well. So the pressure is really on for these guys to get that damage done quick and to keep their score high, because I believe that's the tiebreaker.
Yeah, the score breaker or the tiebreaker for the score is going to be interesting if it gets that long. Sometimes if you're more casual, I feel like players don't really fight tooth and nail for the finish, but on the big stage, I'm really hoping that they're going to give it all that they've got. Really looking forward to what kind of strats they've been preparing. I know I spoke a little bit to Frozen before during the break, and he's been doing some intense practicing, 4 or 5 games a day. I'm sure lots of strategies. It's a best of one, so maybe it was just one strategy that he was just spamming nonstop.
I think it's 2 different mindsets too with these 2 players. Like Cellular has been on the ladder, right? And I talked to Frozen like you did, and he was saying, you know, I didn't really play ladder until this tournament, and then I feel like I've gotten better and better and better because it was match after match after match. And then he told us, I've been practicing with a friend 4 or 5 games a day, like you said, and I've been really grinding for this. So he's taking this very seriously, even if it is in the lower bracket. And I also told them both, if you're in a losing position, try something crazy. It's one game. Your opponent will make mistakes. You're at the level where they're going to make mistakes. And just try and make it fun for you, for your opponent, for everyone that's here, right?
Absolutely, and I think hopefully they're going to have fun. I think now they're getting a little bit nervous because we're going to introduce them shortly, and they're probably backstage like, oh no, what am I going to say? But I'm sure that they're going to do so great. It's just always a joy to get people back into this game. Age of Empires, over 20 years old.
Not dead.
Not dead at...
Still alive and growing.
Of course, and now we have the new expansion coming out. You know, let's plug that a little bit for Age of Empires.
Leaked expansion. I don't know. Classic Age of Empires as well. It just kind of leaks conveniently a couple hours before it was supposed to come out. Anyway, we have our players ready to go. We've got our main stage, we've got our audience at home, we've got us 2 up here, and our Grümpi competitors are ready to be introduced.
Let's meet them. I'm excited.
Thank you very much, Dave and Ellie. Sorry, pictures were being taken. Man, you guys kind of put the pressure on those 2 poor Grümpi contestants. I hope they're not going to crumble here on stage. But the perfect introduction. Thank you very much. I say let's get our 2 finalists on stage. First up, to my right, fighting out of Solothurn, is, please, a round of applause for Selior. Welcome. Herzlich willkommen. And his opponents to my left, fighting out of the red corner, representing kinda your neighbor, the Canton Bern. Please make some noise for his contestant, and also, in my opinion, contestant for one of the coolest nicknames of the tournament, Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza. Herzlich willkommen auch du. Welcome on stage. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. I'm gonna start with Selior, and then I'm gonna come over to you, Frozen. I'm just gonna need a short term for your name because it's gonna. Frozen is okay. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Selior, I would imagine this is the first time for you playing on a stage. Are you a little bit nervous?
Well, I'm quite nervous, but it's okay. So, yeah.
Okay, you seem cool. You seem relaxed. You know what you're doing. You played some Age the last few days, I hope.
Well, I did, yeah. But I also worked a lot, so I'm a little bit tired. But we're gonna figure it out.
Okay, so you don't have a concrete expectation for today? What do you think how it's going to play out?
I just want to perform the best I can. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you play against Frozen in the build-up of this tournament already? I think in one of the qualifiers.
Well, I actually didn't, since he qualified in the second qualifier. Yeah.
Okay, so do you know what to expect from him today?
I definitely do. I did my research.
Okay, nice. What would be your prediction for the best of one? I'm not going to ask. It has to be a 1-0. But did you prepare anything special to surprise Frozen maybe today?
Maybe I don't surprise him, since he also does his research. But I will just do my best, yeah.
Do you have maybe any last words for your opponent today?
The best will win.
Okay, very sportsmanship, I like. Thank you very much, sir. Selior, now you, Frozen. Also, I think for you it's also the first time playing on stage. Is it something you feel, or are you a little bit nervous? Is it different than playing from home, I could imagine?
I'm definitely nervous, yeah. Never been on a stage like this before, so I hope the nerves will go away as soon as the game starts.
Yeah, I think our two casters said it. You're going to be nervous until maybe the first mistakes happen, and then after the first mistake, you're okay, fuck it, mistake happened, now it's cool, you know? So, yeah, we're going to see how this one plays out. What do you know about Selior? He said he has done some little bit of research. Have you done your research as well?
Yeah, I did my research. I pretty much know what to expect, but I also know that he knows that I know, so it's going to go into the mind games there, and in the end, I think execution will be the one to decide.
Yeah, well said, well said. I like this one. And what do you know, or what can you tell us about Selior, maybe, in the forefront, which you found out?
I'm actually not going to say a lot of strategy. One thing I can say that I know about him is that if I wouldn't be here today if he hadn't invited me to the Swiss Discord server. So let's see if the student has surpassed the master today.
Very nice, very nice. Growing your community, very, very nice. And do you have a concrete game plan for today without telling us too much about your strategy?
I definitely have the build order down, and I know at what point I have to look out for what strategies that he might pull my way. And everything beyond that, I'm just going to try and wing it. Nice.
Also for you, maybe any last words for Selior?
Yeah, he said it himself, may the best one win.
Cool. Great showing of sportsmanship from both guys. Could we have a round of applause for both our finalists, please? Very nice, very nice. Thank you, guys. Have fun, enjoy your final. Most importantly, play fair, show sportsmanship, but I have great hopes. You showed it already. It's very cool. I wish good luck to both of you. And yeah, enjoy your final. And I'm throwing over back to our casters, Dave and Ellie. Take it up.
Thank you, Reto. I am smiling ear to ear. That was one of the most adorable interviews I've seen. That was so cute.
That was incredible. I love the fact that they've both done research. It's like listening to two pros up there trying to, do those preliminary interviews. And it was amazing to listen to both of them and say like, oh, I've researched my opponent. I'm not going to share any secrets, but I do know a few things. I also love the fact that Selior invited him to the Discord. So if he loses here, he's the master of his own demise, and the student has then become the master.
Yeah.
From one of the best names, by the way, as was pointed out earlier, frozen hot pepper pizza, but we saw it there, frozen HPP, which just sounds like such a great name, you know, it's an even better one there, so maybe we'll use that in the cast. Ellie, what do you think the key to this is for both players?
Well,
what do you think they have to focus on?
I think Frozen mentioned it himself, is just getting that build order. These players have practiced their builds, no doubt, at home in a totally different environment. And you hear time and time again from athletes practicing their sport that's train how you compete, you know, with the same gear and everything like that. So I wonder if that's going to throw them a little off guard. What do you think?
I mean, I get thrown off guard when I get a new keyboard for 2 weeks, right? Or a new, God forbid, a new mouse. That's a month.
A new controller.
A new control. No, the new controller. I mean, it's just controller thumbs. But if I get a new mouse, it takes me, you know, 3 weeks to get used to it. And they have a whole new setup here now. They probably brought some of their equipment along, of course, but every time there's a new light or some new variable that's added in, it takes time to get used to, and they have no time. They've got one game. That's it. So they're just going to have to kind of throw it all in there, try their best, and see what the outcome is here. I was looking at both of them. I think they're both ready to go. I think they're both rightfully nervous, but I mean, you can't get away from that when you're on a main stage like this.
Speaking of the light, actually, we did bump into TRM. He'll be competing in the Pro Tournament. And he was Googling some tips and about the lights, and he brought a baseball hat. I see that Cellular's got the cap as well. But let's take a look at the sieves and the map that we're going to be seeing today.
Yeah, and we're going to start this one, well, start and finish this one on the bread and butter of Age of Empires 2. We have Arabia here, and we got a little sneak peek at the drafts earlier. So it was Incas for Cellular, and it's Tatars for Frozen HPP, as I'm going to call him now, because I think that's just an amazing name. Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza thought that he had Cellular's draft all figured out. That's what he said, until Cellular random sniped a second civilization instead of picking it himself. So the Turks, which was the other civilization available for Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza, got randomly sniped, and he got stuck with Tatars. I don't know if the plan was to go with Tatars or the plan was to go with Turks, but he was denied that because of the randomness.
You know, I'm looking at these civilizations here, and Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza, he had a really nice victory in his qualifier with the Steppe Lancers, with those Mongols. And do you think a Meso Civ could be a really good counter to that?
Well, I think when we're looking at the Incas and ways to deal with the Incas, the Tatars have Steppe Lancers. And Steppe Lancers are kind of like the counter unit to Eagles right now. Now, Incas make it difficult because they can add in pikes, they can add in monks, they have a fantastic tech tree for both, and obviously they're saving food on all of their units produced. So Incas have potential to snowball to victory, but the Steppe Lancers are the wild card, right? They're kind of like the X factor, especially with today's meta. Everyone's playing them, and everyone has kind of found a way to use them effectively. So we'll see if that translates to this 1150 ELO range, right? We all know how the pros play. Now, how are these guys going to play under the pressure cooker that is that stage, with the lights, with the new equipment, with everyone watching? It's going to be fun.
I'm getting excited for them.
Yeah, I know. I love the interview energy there too. And we will soon be getting into the game here. We just need to get both players set up. We need to get the game rolling. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. We also have a best of 3 coming up afterwards in our pro bracket. This is just kind of the warm-up match, the appetizer for Herofest here. And we're also the opening act for Herofest. So we're going to open it up with a bang, these two guys. Yeah. Herofest 2023 in Bern. And also, I want to mention, thank you, Switzerland, for welcoming me with open arms. Everyone has been so nice here. I know Ellie lives here right now. Yeah. It's my first visit, so it's a fantastic time to be here, and I'm looking forward to, you know, a next good couple days.
Yeah, and I love what they did with the stage, too. Like those
Looks
lights
amazing.
there. It's
Yep.
really, really cool. Yep. And my personal favorite, the bowl of fruit.
The casual bowl of fruit,
Yeah.
right? That's in every single painting ever. But yeah, if you haven't seen yet, next time they show the stage, you'll be able to see our little real steel armor mannequins up at the top. And I was actually surprised because I always thought that armor was super cumbersome, right? Like super heavy. I was picking up pieces of that. Not pizzas. That's our editor. Not pizzas, pieces. And it's so light. It feels like I actually understand how the knights could, you know, wage war and stuff like that.
Well, if we're lucky, maybe you'll try it on.
Yeah, well,
A girl can dream. A knight in shining armor.
yeah, I don't know. I'd be clunky at best. I think. Also, I think you need a lot of padding underneath that because it starts to get a little bit irritating, as I understand, after a while, carrying all that metal around. Anyway, our players are almost ready to go. Thank you for your patience here as we're ready to get into our best of one. It also must be noted that there was a lot of other competitors in this qualifier.
Yeah, 164, right?
Exactly, and not just on the pro side, on the Grümpi side as well. And a couple of them are actually here too. And they were talking about their experiences with that. And we're into the game here. Celior against Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza. This is a best of one. It's going to be on Arabia. This is the Digitec Playground Cup here for Age of Empires 2. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Ellie, thank you for joining me. And as we said before, it's going to be Incas against the Tatars.
All right, so we're just going to fast forward till we're live here. You can see already the concentration in their faces that they're just remembering, okay, how many on wood, how many on food. But it is going to be Incas, Tatars on Arabia, so nothing new here. Let's take a look at the maps. I'm liking Celior's gold in the back of his base. That seems like it's in a really nice spot to defend.
Celior has an excellent map. The only thing I will point out for this map is the berries are very far forward, right? So if he wants to keep his food production coming in, if that berry bush is pressured early, and you can see he's going for the mill here in the dark age, no surprise there.
Oh no, the scout.
Oh, the scout! No! Is this the moment? Oh, he's smiling. Frozen hot pepper pizza. The worst start to a game. But like I said, all the nerves go away when something like that happens, at least for me when I'm playing in tournaments, right? You lose your scout against the TC. It's a disaster. But now, how can it possibly get any worse? Surely it can't. Surely if we look back at his eco, nothing's going wrong there.
No, everything should be, he's bringing home that 4. But the problem is now he won't be able to push his deer into his town center. But judging by the fact that he went out to explore so early, I'm assuming that wasn't really his intention. And maybe he might just go mill it or long haul the deer, who knows. The deer, it's a nice, definitely a nice quick boost to your eco. You get food a little bit faster than from the berries or from the herdables. So,
well, one of the things that's benefiting him here, if he doesn't push the deer, is that Tatars get more food from all of their, I guess it would be llamas, all their herdables, right? So he will have the food access. It won't come in as quickly, and he's definitely going to be thinking about that moment for the rest of this game. Like, God, why did I have to lose my scout like that? Especially against Incas, but it happened. You just have to move forward from that. Good things for Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza here. Frozen HPP, or Frozen, whatever we want to call him. He does have an excellent map, right? He's got the gold in the back. He's got the berries in the back. He can easily wall this to the TC if he's thinking about it a little bit. I like the social distancing mill. I don't know if it's the most efficient thing ever, but you know, if he's comfortable with something like that, then it's great.
I would put it on the other side just to have more room for farms later on. But all right, we see a rat being built quite early, and he's going on the way to feudal now. Both players are. He's not on gold yet. Will we see some?
I think it's going to be scouts here. I would assume it's going to be scouts from Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza, and that would make sense with the Tatars, especially if you're thinking about going into Steppe Lancers, right? He told me when I was asking, oh, maybe the Eagle runs into the TC too? No, Celior doesn't make the same mistake. That is...
Maybe he's just trying to bait the garrison to get those arrows out.
He's trying to bait the idle time?
Yeah.
Wow, that is some high-level stuff here.
I think so.
In this bracket.
But scouts, totally makes sense if in the Castle H he wants to pursue.
But look, something's coming forward from Celior in the middle of the map there. I think that might be some militia. Yep, he's gone for the 2 militia drush here, Ellie. So this is a very kind of high-level build that has managed to filter its way down into the lower elos, right? Everyone has their favorite streamer or pro player that they watch, And this is very, very common to disrupt the eco. And he does know where the TC is. And surely, because he knows where the TC is, he's not going to run into the TC with any of these units. Surely that would never happen.
Oh, no.
As we see the eagle now taking some damage from the TC, but at least it's still alive. And the drush will move its way around the town center there and work its way towards the berries.
They're going
to the stable coming up now.
Oh, they're going around town. The berries are completely exposed. They're not too far away from the town center. I don't know if we'll see a quick wall or if we're going to fight this. There's 4 villagers, so it's
He can fight it if he wants, if he notices it fast enough. Now he's kind of panicking. He didn't notice after the first few hits, and he just kind of abandons that area. That's fine. You still have food under the TC with your llamas, right? Your Tatars, you've got a little bit of extra food. And he goes for stable archery range. Okay, so it's mass production here in the feudal age. Let's see if we can keep this up.
I wonder if this is if this was part of the plan or if he's just reacting to the militia, because if you think militia, what's good versus militia, archers, he's not mining any gold at the moment, so perhaps he's expecting the archer follow-up from Celior, which indeed he's currently making some archers. In which case, making some skirms could be a really nice play to help defending his economy there. But some farms also being dropped down.
That's going to really limit your archery range production, but at least he's got 4 scouts in the queue, right? So he's going to be producing those for a while. He's got a little wall off where he can put the mining camp in safely, and he's going to be going for skirms because he knows the archer follow-up is coming. And this is honestly a really solid start for both. Don't look at the idle TC time, all you purists out there, okay? Because you have to remember the level that we're at.
Yeah, don't worry about the idle time.
It's only a minute, and it's only 50 seconds, and that's fine for what we're witnessing right here. Let's take a look back at Celior's base. So we have the blacksmith going up, and this is a cutthroat build. This is like 2 militia drush into archer follow-up, blacksmith. He's got a couple spearmen because he knows the stable is there, and he's already out on the gold. I mean,
he's already got small walls on his gold as well. He's ready for those scouts.
He's aiming right now.
He's seen those scouts. He's got his spears out already. And you know what? That's actually a really good response. And Frozen didn't even have his scout, and he just anticipated those archers coming, and he said skirms. I like this play.
Look at the focus on these two. I can't imagine being in their place. It'd be so ridiculous to think like you're not a pro player, you're up here, you're just competing, and you got one game to prove your skills as the drush finally makes its way around from that TC. They've taken quite a bit of damage, or rather that eagle has, from the TC so far this game. And now the skirmisher is coming out as we see the berries are getting a little bit clogged there. And I love the fact that Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza has saved up so many scouts. He's sending the scouts back, and this should be a very comfortable clear up for him. He's going to take out the eagle first and then start working away on those militia. And that drush, other than a little bit of panic at the beginning, hasn't really accomplished that much.
Well, if you look at the idle time for Frozen, he's down to 63% efficiency. So I would say it did do a little bit of damage for his economy sakes for sure. And it looks like
deleted 2 houses as
and
well.
I was going to say he just deleted another house. So
but he's safe. He's alive, and that's what matters here, right? Minute and 40 seconds of idle TC time, but his opponent has a minute and 20.
Yeah, it evens out in the end. I'm waiting for us to use this great army, but it looks like Frozen wants to be more on the defensive side. So he'll have the tools he needs at home to deal with these archers.
Yeah, and it's only 1 spear there from Celior, and we already have the skirms, like you said, from Frozen HBP, and he's going to have enough to defend this. You don't need the tower, my friend. You don't need the tower. You've got the army to defend that. But as we've seen, he likes to be safe.
Very safe indeed. I think if he loses a villager, it's going to be very...
And his military's auto-attacking for him, and it's working out fine. It's going to be okay. He didn't even task them to attack that. They automatically went towards the army. So there's the potential clear-up for Frozen as he finds himself an archer kill and will pull the scouts back so he doesn't lose too many of them.
Beautiful. I love that Celior is now retreating. He knows it's not a good fight to take, so he's going to just pull back, wait a little bit longer until reinforcements come in.
But look at the resources. Look at them.
It looks like Castle Age is definitely on the horizon for Frozen, and he made such a food-heavy army. His scouts, his skirms, he hasn't made a single gold unit, so he will be, he's doing great with his farms.
That's fantastic eco-management there. I'm still not looking at the idle TC time. That might be why his food count is so high. because he's not using
No
the
comment.
produced villagers, as we see villager difference already coming in here. But you know what? If he can get to Castle Age before the Incas and start making those Step Lancers, or maybe start making some Knights, could be really, really solid for him. But look at this sneaky behavior here from Celior. He's going to go all the way around to the other side of the gold, and that tower's not really in a position to protect anything. But Frozen, he realizes that army's there in time. He's going to pull the villagers away, and he's able to click up to Castle Age as soon as he realizes he has the res, and there he goes.
Off he goes. And you know, another thing to point out is that Frozen doesn't have fletching at the moment, so his range of attack is a little bit shorter than Celior's is. But the fight doesn't really seem to be in Celior's favor when those scouts and now the skirmishers come around on the other side and clean up crew in aisle 4.
Yeah, that wasn't much of a fight at all, was it? It was more of a massacre. He even accidentally clicked the house there, maybe a little bit of panic, as we see a blacksmith now coming up from Frozen, and he's really forcing that down. He's also going for another stable. Resources are looking okay. If he wants to produce from the stables, though, he's going to have to go and send more villagers to gold. And it looks like these vills are thinking about going over to gold now. So beautiful build up from him. We look at his opponent. The resources still aren't there to go to Castle Age, and that's what he needed. He needed a market and maybe a mill on some of those farms because they're getting a little bit out there.
I wonder if he is going to be selling his stone because the situation is getting a little dire, and we can already see Frozen picking up bloodlines, picking up forging. So he's upgrading his stable units for sure. They're going to be coming out of that oven hot. Hotter than his peppers. Frozen was telling
Hotter
me,
than his frozen pizza?
No, he was telling me a hobby of his is growing peppers. And he also has some Carolina Reapers, so the hottest pepper in the world. Yeah, I know. So
maybe we should have him like eat one on stage next time when he's playing the game and then see how he reacts. Would that impact you more than being on the main stage here? Probably. Anyway, second barracks for Celior is going up, and he's on the way to Castle Age. He's not going to like the fact that his opponent's already there, and it's 3 Step Lancers in the queue, so the Step Lancers were the plan all the time. Fortunately for Celior, he's already fully walled. Frozen still playing a little bit open. It's condensed kind of around his farms.
how many houses
big walls.
will he delete? Does he deleted another house to make room for
If
his
he
villagers?
deletes another one and gets housed, I'm
then
very
it's going to be
frustrated.
very, very...
Still only 32 villagers as well. Look at the idle TC time. It just keeps ticking up and up and up. This is an all-in.
He's definitely focused on his military production, and he is making military, so that's what we like to see. He definitely has the better army right now. Do you think he should run in now and try to get those archers while they're still in their
You
form?
gotta go. Well, he's not gonna find the archers because they're kind of sneaking around. They're being stealthy once again. And Celior knows that he wants to get those in the back of the eco, upgrade them to crossbow, get Bodkin, and then attack so he can kill the maximum amount of villagers. But if you're in Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza shoes, you gotta go while you still have the Castle Age advantage. And I think he's delayed it a little bit too much because we can see his opponent getting to Castle Age right now. That means that all of his Eagles are going to automatically upgrade. That means that his production time on the Eagles is going to get faster. And now he has the ability to make Monks and Pike.
And Frozen, he, just like that, went back to his base. I think he's a little bit worried. He thinks he doesn't have a big enough army.
And here they come.
The archers have snuck around, and these villagers are quite far away from that tower. So we do take a couple of villager losses. 2 of them go down, and it's a little bit tragic.
And it's 4 more minutes of idle TC time. And if you think about it, I mean, a villager is about 25 seconds to produce, as we see the crossbows getting cleared up behind that. These Step Lancers clearing that easily, and now the Step Lancers can come back across the map. There is full walls for Celior, but once you get enough Step Lancers, Palisade walls aren't really going to do all that much. They can stack up with that one range that they have and bust through. Second TC on the way for Celior. He's going to continue to expand this villager lead, which is so massive because Frozen is not making villagers. He's only making military. This is an all-in attempt from Frozen, and it's going to be on Celior to try and keep himself alive. If he can stay alive for like 2 or 3 more minutes, his eco will be so far ahead that he should win this game. But I think this is calculated from Frozen. He just wants to try something crazy, and is he going to see that TC is the question. Celior just cancels it. He's like, nope, not going out there.
No, it's dangerous outside. But the Eagle Mass is looking good here.
And the Step Lancers, those Eagles are going to do nothing, Ellie.
Well, okay.
They're going to do nothing against this. Step Lancers are so good against Eagles, and you'll see them. The Eagles are coming, and the Eagles are dead as the Step Lancers clear them up completely. He didn't even lose a unit.
Look at the military. It's 22-1. Mr. Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza. He is...
He's gaming right now.
He's gaming.
He's not making villagers. The strategy book says that you have to expand your economy and make villagers. He's not making anything. He's killing villagers, and the villager difference is only 5 at the moment. One monk isn't going to do too much, and Celior just... It kind of feels like he's out of options here.
Yeah, and you can see that Frozen is picking up his second defense for his cavalry here, so they'll be able to fight a little bit more with confidence underneath the town centers. He's in a really good spot.
Really good spot. He's still not making villagers. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but he's stuck at 32. 32 is a good number. And they found their way into the woodline, and it just keeps getting worse for Celior. Celior just needs to make sure that he stays in this game and keeps trying, because he has Pikemen now, and Pikemen will do significantly better against these Step Lancers than the Eagles did in that first engagement. And he's still ahead on villagers, Ellie, even after he's lost, what, 13 now?
He's lost 13. I'm not quite sure how much longer this Vil lead will last at this rate, but the Pikemen are here. I just don't think they have a good enough number, and those Step Lancers with their extra range, they're going to be able to deal with these Pikemen really easily.
I think it's fair to say they're doing well so far. I mean, he's even adding some more now. He stopped there, and the GG comes in, and Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza. It was a short game, but he went all in. We appreciate the energy after losing that scout, right?
The shaky hands are so cute. Oh,
and we've even got the music.
Amazing.
He looks satisfied with himself.
I think after losing the scout in the first few seconds of the game there, and just the recoup, the decision to not make economic units, amazing.
The deep breath, you know, we saw all the walls and everything like that. He was running away from the Drush, but he recovered fine. Got up to Castle Age, and big smile, and look, he's showing the hands, shaking a little bit. We love to see it. It was a great effort from Celior as well. I really like the opening build. It was very clinical, but the pressure, the Castle Age timing from Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza caught him off guard. And big shout out to these two competitors here. They're not at a pro level, but they brought pro energy today, and we appreciate that. Really, really love to see it.
It looks like the student has become the master.
Celior inviting him to the Swiss Discord, inviting him basically to enter the tournament, and well, it's kind of backfired a little bit, it's fair to say.
I'm so excited to hear what he has to say.
And we will get an interview shortly. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in there. That was great to see. And we're going to pass it over to our hosts and to Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza, our champion of the Grümpi bracket. Well done, my friend.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for the excellent cast. It was a pleasure to watch the game. I'm here with a very lucky and I think relieved Frozen. How was it?
It was nerve-wracking, but as I said, I had a plan, and I somewhat expected him to come with these archers. If I hadn't made these skirms, I would be dead.
You said it before, the students surpassed the master today. I think a little dream comes true. I think gives you hope as a competitive player as well. How does it feel?
It feels like I'm playing the best Age of Empires I've ever played. Nice. I don't know what that means exactly, but needless to say, I'm very happy that I got to be here and that I got to win today.
It's something different to win on stage, right? It's a different feeling than winning at home.
Yeah, it's very different. At home, win or lose, the next match can already be queued up. Here it is just one match. That's all you're going to get, and you have to be ready on point.
When did you feel, or when did you know that the victory was very near?
When I got to produce my Step Lancers, because it is extremely hard to counter Step Lancers once they're in a mass. I even had a follow-up plan that I would put up a castle to research Silk Armor, which would make them extremely tanky against archers. Didn't have to get to that. Once the walls were down, I was pretty confident that I was going to win it.
Did anyone or anything, excuse me, surprise you about Cellier?
Not really. The drosh came in when I didn't expect it to come in at the berries, but everything else was pretty much what I expected. But I'm pretty sure he also expected everything that I did.
Okay, but looks like your plan worked out. Now, are we going to see you next year in the pro tournament?
If I can continue to get better, then definitely I'm going to continue to practice. I want to give a big shout out here to my training partner, Gold Roger, who is sadly not here today and had recently had a bad accident. I'm wishing him a speedy recovery, and I want to say thank you. Without you, I would definitely not be here. This was all the training we did together.
Yes, gute Besserung auch noch von mir. Yes, round of applause, please. Nice words. Last question. For anyone who watched and maybe even plays Age, but never played in a tournament, never tried to participate in a Digitec Playground Cup, what would you recommend them?
I would recommend, whether it's a tournament or ladder, talk to your opponents. It is much easier to play a competitive game if your opponent is not just some nameless and faceless dude, but someone you actually communicated with. That's what I love about playing tournaments online or in person. And I've got to make so many, what I consider friends, at least online, through exactly this.
What nice words. Thank you very much. One more round of applause, please, for your Digitec Playground champion, Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza. I remembered. That's not all, of course. Even for the Grümpi tournament, our two finalists will be getting some prizes. 300, respectively 500 Swiss francs in Digitec vouchers. Talk about an upgrade for your living room or your gaming setup. Pretty cool. Here come your vouchers, I think. Yes, we have the 300 for Cellier and 500 for Frozen. Congratulations, Cellier, also. Thank you very much for your performance and your show. Round of applause for both finalists, please. Congrats, guys. Well played. Good show. Thank you very much. Nice display of sportsmanship as well. Super chill interview. Just continue like that. I think we're going to see each other maybe soon again in the future somewhere. Nice. Yes, so enjoy your prize money, enjoy your weekend, and thank you very much for the show once again. So, Dave and Ellie, I know you guys are super hyped for what comes next. Please, tell them.
Can I say, though, that was one of the most wholesome interviews.
That was so cute.
He had the checklist. You know, my opponent's great. He knew what I was doing. It was a tough contest. I want to shout out my my injured training partner. It was amazing. So we're super happy for Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza.
A master class.
Yep.
A master class in the post-interview tournaments. Oh,
Yep.
and post-victory. Beautiful.
But that's not it, right? We have the pro tournament coming up next. It's going to be a best of 3, and we're going to have 2 guys that have faced up against each other a couple times now, and are arguably the 2 best Swiss Age of Empires 2 players currently.
I'm excited. I'm really excited because actually TRM and FIGA were in the finals of the first qualifier, and it was a little bit of an upset because I believe TRM is a little bit higher rated, and FIGA was able to take the victory. And TRM is back to try to take his place.
I mean, TRM is the higher rated player, right? TRM is the better known name, I think, currently. But FIGA has been making his way up there, and FIGA honestly surprised me qualifying first, because I think everyone thought that TRM would make his way through that. But it didn't end up happening, like you said. And I think it was, I'm not sure it was the final. I think it was actually in the semi-final of that first qualifier. Because it was only a best of 1, right? But we're going to be showing you what's on the line here for this, this pro series of our tournament. Obviously, with our Grümpi now over, we will shift our focus to that. And it's an exciting couple games upcoming.
Hello, Gabe.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up.
Welcome.
Friend, 4 or 5 games a day, like.
Thank you very much.
euer Hobby?
Ich bin der Adrian oder Scooter und ich spiele schon mein halbes Leben Warcraft 3.
Ich bin der Ganze, ich bin der StarCraft 2 Spieler.
Ich bin die Anouk oder Daisy und ich spiele Age of Empires.
RTS ist ein totes Genre, welches die Boomer probieren am Leben zu halten.
Es hat ein bisschen etwas.
Immer wenn meine Mutter ein Götti-Bub kommt, der spielt irgendwie Minecraft und Fortnite. Finden sie so, die Anouk, die spielt auch Games. Und dann erzählt sie aber leider, dass es Age of Empires ist und dann lacht er mich aus. Und der ist so 14, 15, das ist richtig traurig. Wer noch StarCraft 2 spielt, denkt, es ist 2012 und hört Dubstep.
Also das kann man schon auch noch hören, zum einen.
Nein.
Ich gebe schon zu, von 2010 ist StarCraft 2 rausgekommen und dann in 3 Teilen bis 2014. Seither ist natürlich viel vergangen und viele neue Spiele sind aufgetaucht. Aber ich glaube nach wie vor, es ist und bleibt eines der besten RTS-Games. Und ich freue mich auf StarCraft 3.
Kommt das raus?
Irgendwann vielleicht.
Da hat jemand noch Träume. Nach 20 Jahren hat Age of Empires 2 immer noch ein verbuggtes Pathfinding.
Bei jedem Patch wird das Pathfinding gefixt. Also vielleicht ein bisschen, aber es hat auch Features. Zum Beispiel, wenn du so eine Einheit hast, die moonwalken.
Das nennt man ein Feature.
Ja, das ist ein Feature.
Niemand unter 50 spielt StarCraft.
Nein, das stimmt nicht. Nein, alle über 50 können es gar nicht mehr spielen. Falsch.
Das ist falsch.
Der Start von Age of Empires 2 ist langweiliger als 2 Stunden Mathe.
Nein, das ist meditativ. Das tut dich mental vorbereiten, auf was kommt. Und du musst schon dann bereit sein, weil wenn du dann so 3 Sekunden Idle Time hast, das ist ganz schlecht.
Bei StarCraft ist es ein bisschen ähnlich.
Aha, okay.
Man kann halt entscheiden von Anfang an, was für eine Strategie man fährt. Und unter Umständen dauert es am Anfang auch ein bisschen, bis etwas passiert. Aber wenn es passiert, dann lohnt es sich.
Cool an Warcraft ist halt, die Karten sind relativ klein. Das heisst, du kannst schon relativ schnell schon beim Gegner sein und beim Creepen irgendwie angreifen. Und von dem her, es ändert sehr schnell. Also in den ersten 2-3 Minuten kann schon das ganze Game drehen eigentlich. Wenn StarCraft 2 Spieler abschalten wollen, spielen sie Age of Empires.
Nein, das stimmt nicht. Ich glaube, irgendwann wird es halt langweilig, wenn man nur irgendwie 4 Fraktionen spielen kann oder so.
Es sind sogar nur 3.
Ich weiß gar nicht, ob es Teamgames gibt in StarCraft.
Das gibt es, ja.
Und wie viele Leute
Das
können
spielt
spielen?
noch niemand.
Spielt niemand?
Nein.
Aber das ist das Beste.
Mal.
Wenn du im 1 gegen 1 verlierst, dann bist du schuld. Aber wenn du im Teamgame verlierst, dann sind deine Teammitglieder
Das ist
schuld.
sehr gut.
Das ist super.
Normal, ganz normal, klar, ja.
Das ist das Erste, was man lernt, wenn man online
Das
spielt. So. StarCraft ist nur Warcraft für Noobs.
Nein, natürlich nicht. StarCraft verbinde ich mit einem schnellen Schachspiel, wo man extrem viel nachdenken muss, extrem flexibel sein. Warcraft verbinde ich hingegen eher ein bisschen mit StarCraft für Arme vielleicht.
Wow. Warcraft hat Helden und Orks und riesige Äxte.
Was wollt man mehr?
Für die RTS-Szene allgemein gibt es relativ wenig Beef, sage ich jetzt mal. Es ist nicht so wie irgendwie COD gegen CS oder irgendetwas. Wir sind eigentlich alle froh, spielt überhaupt noch irgendjemand RTS. Irgendwann nach 10 Jahren, wenn mal wieder ein neues RTS rauskommt, lockt man sich irgendwo ein im Internet und spielt wieder gegen die genau gleichen Leute, die man schon vor 20 Jahren gespielt hat.
Herzlich willkommen zurück, Bern. Welcome back, Herofest attendants. Welcome back, Switzerland gang. Welcome back, esport and gaming enjoyers all around Switzerland. Next up is the ultimate Switzerland Age of Empires 2 battle, as we're coming to the pro tournament final of the Digitec Playground Cup. I hope you guys are ready and set, because this one could get spicy. But yeah, let's hear it from our experts. Please, Dave and Ali, take it away for this pro tournament final of the Digitec Playground Cup.
Welcome back, everyone, to our pro final of the Digitec Playground Cup here at Herofest in Bern, Switzerland. We're happy to be here. I'm Dave. I will be joined by Ellie, our lovely crowd back there, and of course, viewers at home, as we get Veiga versus TRM, best of 3 underway here shortly. What are your expectations, Ellie?
Something good. Something good. I'm expecting great things from both players. I know that best of 3 is really tight.
Cutthroat.
It's really cutthroat. I mean, obviously best of 1 is even more cutthroat, but usually we are used to seeing a little bit longer with best of 5s, best of 7. There you have a little bit more wiggle room, a little bit more room for error. But with the best of 3, it's also less strategies that they have had to prepare and focus on. And I know they did the draft a couple of days ago, so they had time to ruminate and think and think and think.
It almost kind of stinks that they did the draft so long ago, right? Because if you want to change your mind, well, it's simply too late. You already know the Civ matchups, and at some point, you really start cooking on the Civ matchups, and you might overthink what you're going to do. Now, I know a little bit different from what they mostly experience in the qualifiers, because it is a best of 3, and of course, only the finals of those qualifiers were a best of 3. Mm-hmm. So, other than the Arabia pick that they were playing in most of the best of 1s in the qualifiers, they're going to have a little bit of a mix-up here. Also, we had a sneak peek at the drafts coming in, and we know that a couple of the most popular civs have been banned out, which will maybe make for some more entertaining games here.
Yeah, the qualifier for the pro bracket was really Mongol and Sicilian heavy. And actually, when TRM was playing up against, was it the first qualifier? I think he lost to the Sicilians, so it stung a little bit for him, I'm sure. But we had 2 qualifiers. Veiga taking home the first ticket, and on the 23rd of September, TRM took his spot and joining him here today at the grand final at Herofest, and I'm sure both players are really excited to get underway. It is a LAN tournament, and there is some prizes on the line, so we can take a look at that. First player will take home an 800 franc voucher to Digitec, and second place also not going to be going home empty-handed, 500 francs for them as well. So they can upgrade their gear, get whatever they want. They earned it.
And there's the opportunity to play on a main stage. We heard it from our Grümpi players. Sorry, we're still trying to figure out how to pronounce that division even after it's over. But we heard it from them. It's a unique experience to be up there, right? And now we've got these two who are more experienced players for sure. TRM probably, you know, the best player in Switzerland, well, to be determined, and Feiga probably the second best player in Switzerland, to be determined as well. And they have never played on a stage like this before, right? So super exciting for them, potentially a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And we're happy that they're here and they're just getting everything sorted and set up on those PCs. We mentioned it before, different environment than at home. The lights, the seats, the equipment, all the people in your ear, right? The casters over here, you have to worry about them judging you as well.
I think they're wearing the noise-canceling headphones, but if you're not used to playing with these bulky things, then maybe they'll be a little bit in your way. And like you said, they're also playing on different equipment, so they have to set up their hotkeys. You know, you can make a mistake and accidentally, you know, not install your mod, of course. And there's just all these little things that can kind of add up and then really throw you off. Like, for example, even something as simple as the small tree mod. You forget it one time and then it's all of a sudden the game looks totally different and you're like, I can't play under these conditions.
And there's no reset. Once you're in, there's no reset whatsoever. But we're excited to get rolling on this one. I know that one of the home maps here, I believe it was from Feiga, is Nomad, if I read that correctly. So I'm very excited as a Nomad player myself to see what he can pull out. We saw a fantastic Spanish mirror on Nomad in the qualifiers. Do you remember that game?
I do.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous game where one player decided to pull 40 or 50 villagers to try and rush down a castle in defense
Pyro,
when he had the score lead.
We won't forget, yeah.
Gone too soon, right, in the finals. That was a crazy moment. It was running right up to the time limit, which all of these games have. And that time limit just adds another dimension to these Age of Empires games. I mean, if you're going to win by score, you got to start planning ahead when you're 10 minutes away from that time limit. You got to start getting technologies. You got to start getting kills. You got to start or stop losing units to boost your opponent's score. And you have to have a really great understanding of how that mechanic works in the game, which both of these players being above 2K, really have a good idea. And just to give you a reference for anyone who's not familiar, anything above 2K in Age of Empires 2 means that you've probably been playing the game for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years, something like that, and you've been playing it pretty regularly. It takes a lot of work to get up near that level. It takes a lot of experience, and it takes a lot of active studying on the current meta, because there's so many changes coming into the game at any given moment.
New patches, new updates all the time. Age of Empires 2 not dead, so beautiful time to get back into the scene and just keep these kind of tournaments alive. It's so crazy that there's so many tournaments going on in the coming months, and the scene is more active than ever, so it's definitely going really strong, and I'm super thankful that Digitec is powering an Age of Empires 2 tourney here in Bern, so big shout out once again, thank you so much. But we were talking about Spanish on Nomad, obviously an S tier for that, an S tier civ for that map. Unfortunately, was sniped.
Sniped, and it's understandable.
Understandable. So.
like I said when we saw the Nomad games before, you know, people were, one of them, I think Malians was picked. And you were saying, but can Malians do it? I'm like, no. You don't understand how dominant this civ is on Nomad 1v1. There's a reason that it's always banned out. But hopefully we get to see a great Nomad game. Hopefully we get to see, I believe, Acropolis was the other map as well. Hopefully we just get to see all 3 games, and then it comes right down to the wire. I know that Feiga was doing some training with Sato in preparation for this. I know that TRM was doing multiple training matches in preparation for this. He said he's played a lot of games in the last 40 hours, or 24 hours rather.
He did. He said he played 40 plus. And then I wrote this down.
That's a lot of Age of Empires.
Don't tell anyone.
If you're familiar with how long the average Age of Empires game is, that is a lot. That is like 10 hours of gameplay. Like, that is crazy. And
you know, they could have
not against AI. Like, it is against other people as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but he could have just had 5-minute quick ones.
Oh, you weren't there for the part where he said he lost against Husset Wagons 4 times.
Oh no, say it ain't
You weren't there for that one. The all-in.
You know what? TRM, he is no stranger to Swiss AoE 2 events. He is often found dominating. Always, he's like, it's free money. So he's feeling really confident.
He's got a challenger.
He's got a challenger now, especially now because he did lose in the first qualifier. So he has tasted defeat, and I don't think he liked it.
Yeah, it was definitely unexpected. Like everyone watching the stream, everyone coming into it, even the organizers, me, we just assumed he would win that first qualifier, right? And then he ended up losing that. And then there was a question like, is he even going to make it? And of course he did, because he's the best player in Switzerland, TBD, the best player in Switzerland currently. And well, he's got himself a challenger. Also, big shout out to the Swiss Age of Empires 2 community, which has grown so much in the last couple of years. I think if you were to say like 3 or 4 years ago, would you be able to get 161 entrants into a tournament? The answer would be no. Like you get 16, right? So this is big part of their efforts to expand the community, and it's been great to see, and it's been great to see the level of the Swiss players slowly rise over that time too. You're getting people up in the top 100, up in the top 200, and you're getting multiple people up there in our global rankings. So that's really great. We're waiting for that one Swiss player to really just kind of break through and get into the the top 16 or maybe top 20, top 30 in the world, which is super, super impressive.
Also, moving to Switzerland is an option. So, top 16
you'll take
players.
the expats as well from
we'll
other.
Take them.
Yeah, exactly.
Our arms are open. For sure, players. I mean, this is probably the first time that they're also on this big stage. We'll get that confirmed in the interview, but I'm sure both players have a little bit of I don't know. I don't want to say jimmies because that's
nerves. 100%. Nerves 100%. Like TRM might play it cool there, but I know anybody would be nervous in this situation. Faiga, I know he's going to be nervous here, and it's all about that moment, right? It's when the nerves disappear and when you can finally just kind of hone in and focus and make sure you're doing all the little things right. And that seems to be what happened for Frozen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he said, I'm glad I had the skirms at home because if I didn't have the skirms at home, I would have been dead.
Everyone
the back
loves
of
skirms.
my eco. I personally, as a caster, I don't think that was the defining moment, but that was the defining moment for him, right? And that's the way Age of Empires plays out. It's all about your mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you're winning? Do you feel like you have the momentum on your side? Even if it's not real, it's real to you, and that will dictate how you proceed in the rest of the game.
I think there's a quote. It goes something like, perception is stronger than reality.
In many
like
ways,
that,
yeah. Especially in Age of Empires, right? Because if you're in like Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza's perspective, and you kill 10 villagers, if you perceive that your opponent has 3 TCs behind that, you still think you're behind in that game. But your opponent assumes that you're keeping your town center running. And that simply wasn't the case last game, right? So it's a perfect example of what you think is happening and what is actually happening, and what you think is happening, even if it isn't actually happening, can influence the way that you play it out. Anyway, we got into a really deep discussion there. About
very philosophical.
For some reason, because we're waiting for our players to get all of their mods in, everything. You have to make sure you've logged into your Steam account, you've got all your mods correct, you start a couple times, and make sure that nothing is off here.
But remember during the interview where Frozen at the beginning, he was like, oh yeah, I'm sure Cellular knows what I'm doing, and he knows that I know what he's doing. And do you think that between TRM and Faiga, they'll have the same in-depth knowledge, or do you think there's more room for improvisation?
I think there's more room for improvisation, because at a pro level, like the lower level, you can know the strategy and it'll basically play out the same way. But at the pro level, you make one little tweak. You add an extra archer, you add in 2 extra skirmishers, that can completely snowball the game, right? It doesn't look like a big thing, but if you win one fight early, it goes in a completely opposite direction. Or maybe you add the blacksmith in before the second archer range. Or maybe you add in stable first and then arrange right after. And it really kind of mixes things up, and the pros know how to mix things up with every single civ. Nothing is cut and dry here. And as we saw in our qualifiers, even just with the Sicilian Donjon U-pudding rush that they're calling it now, made famous by a certain YouTuber, we can see unexpected things, right? We can see all-ins work, and we saw it work live on the qualifiers, and we might see it work here, especially coming from an underdog, right? FIGA is going to feel more pressure to do something like that than TRM is, because TRM feels like if we just play meta, if we just play Arabia 1v1, I'm going to win because I'm the better player. That might be his mindset going in. I'm kind of speaking for him, but I would assume that would be his mindset going in.
Well, FIGA's got a whole weekend ahead of Age of Empires playing. At Herofest, there's also the Switzerland, and they have a community tournament of AoE 2. Unfortunately, TRM won't be able to join, but FIGA, he's got his gear, he's ready, so his whole weekend.
I'm looking for a computer. I wanted to join. I wanted to win the LAN at Switzerland as a visiting Canadian, and to try and take it.
Wouldn't that be?
I don't know if the crowd would take that well. Actually.
That'd be something.
I offered that suggestion, and I heard someone who was competing in the tournament go, no, down the table.
But if you're spending
TRM's already gone. We've already eliminated high-level players. Please don't join. So we're going to be ready for our walk-in soon. We have TRM against FIGA. We have a live crowd. We have all of the viewers at home here at Herofest. The Digitec Playground Cup for Age of Empires 2, our Swiss finals. Ellie, our players are almost ready.
I'm ready, so excited to see it. Let's take it to Rito.
Thank you, casters. Well spoken. Now, let's get our two finalists on stage once more, shall we? Please, first up, to my right, fighting out of the blue corner, representing Mainstage, make some noise for Feige. Welcome. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, we've heard before, arguably Switzerland's strongest Age of Empires 2 player. Please make some noise for TRM. Welcome as well. I'm gonna start with you, Feige, if that's fine, and then I'm gonna come over to you with the questions. So, Feige, you've never played on a stage like this before. I know you played a lot of Age of Empires. Is it something which could impact your performance today?
Well, of course. I would be lying if I said that this is not. I'm not nervous. Definitely a little bit nervous, but this gives me a little bit more motivation, and yeah, I really want to win. So yeah, look up to it.
Nice. Question for you specifically: why did you snipe Mongols?
Well, I just think that this allowed me to set up the stage for the next civilization a little bit better for me. I like Mongols myself, so I just did it kind of like as a setup for better matchups with the other civilizations.
Okay, yeah, so strategic setup basically, yeah. Are you disappointed that TRM sniped Sicilians?
Well, definitely, right. That's my favorite civ, and with this civ, actually, I've beaten TRM in this first qualifier, but still, I think without Sicilians, I'm just as powerful.
What do you think, looking at TRM, your opponent, which of his strength is the most dangerous to you?
His strengths come from experience compared to mine. He's much more experienced, so I think he's much more. He understands meta more than me, but maybe with my fresh kind of like view at the game, it will allow me to create some surprises.
Nice. Could I have your prediction for this grand final and maybe some last words in direction of TRM.
Yeah, I mean, definitely 2-0 for me. Like, there's no question, clearly. And what was the next question?
Any last words for your opponent?
I mean, generally much love. I think, to me, the most important thing is that the final is entertaining and I can show something new.
Thank you very much, sir. Good luck to you. And now to our second challenger here on stage, TRM. Do you think you have the strongest sieve for Aeropolis?
Not really. No, not really. I don't think so.
What do you think is strongest?
It will depend on the map. It will not depend on the sieve. I mean, all the sieves drafted, I think they are really strong, all of them.
Okay. For you also, is it the first time playing here on a scale, on a stage of such a scale?
Yes, it's the first time, yes.
So you're a little bit nervous maybe, or you seem pretty cool?
No, I am a bit nervous.
Okay, he's honest, I like it. Second question for you, which map are you most confident on?
I would say in general land maps, open maps.
And are you looking forward to play Nomad?
I have practiced this week, so yeah, I am ready for it. I mean, I don't normally play it myself if I would be alone, like, okay, let's play Nomad. But when it comes to a kind of event like this one, yeah, sure, I'm ready for it.
And if you now look at Feige, what would you think? What of his strength is the most dangerous to you?
Well, I can honestly do not answer that because he's not even using his main account. I cannot answer that, I don't know.
What would be your prediction for this final and maybe some last words you have for Feige?
Predictions, as I said, it's a 50-50% map generation thing, depending on how it goes. If it is hopefully open, then it will be good chances. And for him, good luck, have fun, and nice to meet him. Seems like a really nice person.
nice display of sportsmanship here as well. Nice, very nice, shake hands. So yeah, that would be it. Thank you very much for the interview, guys. I wish you both good luck in the finals. Give it your best, give us a show, and enjoy the time here up on stage. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Let it enjoy. Thank you very much. Have fun, guys. Can we have one more round of applause for our two finalists, please? Feige and TRM. And with all the pre-game interviews being done, I would give over back to our two wonderful casters for this grand final of the Digitec Playground Cup, Dave and Ellie.
Thank you so much, Rado. Whew. All
Different
right.
energy kind of in the interview questions there at the end. You know, what do you think the score is going to be? 2-0. You know, and then you ask TRM, what do you think the score is going to be? And he's already blaming the maps. My man's like, well, it depends on the map generation, you know? And that's just kind of like, that's the different energy between an underdog and the guy who's already, you know, kind of proven himself, TRM. He's like, well, you know, anything could happen. I'm expected to win. I hope it's good games, and I love to see that, you know, they both wish each other luck, good sportsmanship there. And I'm excited to see the picks once again. I have a general idea of how the draft went, but I can't remember it by heart. This is going to be good, Ellie.
Well, like we mentioned, it was drafted a couple days ago, so the players have had time to ruminate. And there's such a thing as, you know, analysis paralysis. I hope that they didn't overanalyze, and we're just going to see some really fun games. And Feige did manage to take a win over TRM in the first qualifier, and he definitely earned his seat to be up here on the main stage. So I wouldn't count him out so quickly.
Yep. And just to take you back to what happened in that first qualifier, Feige got beat by an all-in push, the Sicilian Donjon push by a 1600 player, I think, who is about 300 or 400 elo, a lot of spaces, if you're not familiar with the ladder, below where Feige is. Feige got beat by him in the group stage. He goes into the bracket stage. He matches up against TRM, and then he beats TRM with the strategy that he got beat by, which was incredible. And that kind of just opened the floodgates to that whole Sicilian strategy, right? Now Sicilians are gone. Mongols are gone, which we saw so often earlier. and we're stuck with a little bit more creativity when it comes to the drafts. They can't rely on the meta as much, and as Feiga said, he thinks TRM is much more experienced with him, or than him, when it comes to the meta, and more experienced when it comes to predicting what's going to happen. So if you open this up, have a complicated Civ draft, and maybe have an unusual plan, maybe there's some holes there that you can you can take advantage of.
But you know what TRM also said about it really depends on the map draft, or the map generation. I feel like that is so true with Nomad. It could really be your best miracle wish or a nightmare.
Yep. Nomad is really tough, and that's one thing that takes a ton of experience. It takes hundreds of games to be able to figure out how to make a good start out of a bad map, right? Now, modern day Nomad is a little bit easier with that, as we see the draft here coming up. So it's going to be Incas here for Feiga on Arabia, which is our first map, and Tatars for TRM, so it's the same matchup we just saw.
Coordinate.
And we'll see if it's the same approaches, right? Like maybe it's the same approach, same match, but just much better executed from both of these guys. Once again, I think the Step Lancers are going to be a threat, and I think the key for the Tatars here is to get to Castle Age before or at the same time as Incas. If you're trailing behind to the Castle Age as Tatars versus Incas, you are in a world of hurt, because there's no way you're massing Step Lancers when you have Eagles and Spearmen or Pikes and Monks knocking at your door. You just simply can't find the opportunity.
Well, I'm assuming both players have also been watching the Grümpi set, so
I don't think they were taking notes, though. Oh no. Do you think they were really like writing it down?
No, but it's a nice little warm-up. Maybe they got some inspiration. They're like, oh, these are actually very good Civs here.
Yep.
So who knows, who knows? But I am really looking forward to this. Like we said, they've selected these Civs, and they knew the map was going to be Arabia a few days ago. They've had time to strategize. The Step Lancers, all throughout the qualifier, first and second, have just been such a dominant force, and I don't think there's any reason for us not to expect Step Lancers also in this round.
Well, they're the perfect counter to Eagles, right? You saw how well they even did against the Pikemen in low numbers, right? You saw how well they did against the Monks. You saw how well they did against the Palisade Walls. And that's why it's key for the Incas to just be pressuring all the time. So we're going to get into our game here, game number 1 of our Pro Grand Final here at the Digitec Playground Cup. And we will have Incas for Feiga, and we're going to have TRM playing as the Tatars. Now, what are your opening observations about this map here from Feiga, Ellie?
Well, it is quite open.
Where's the wood?
Where?
Where is the wood? It's quite far away. The closest wood line is forward towards his enemy's base. We also have a beautiful little hill there right above the berries, and the gold is quite far forward there too.
And Tatars do get a bonus when they're fighting on top of a hill, so that would be a beautiful place here to harass the berries. We'll see what Feiga how he plans to deal with this, our early wall or just super aggression.
I wonder if he actually got some sheep lamed, because it looked like TRM came forward there for a bit with his scout. No, okay, that was just his goat scouting around, and he's going to be pushing in those gazelle from the middle of the map there, so TRM isn't going to be scouting his opponent yet. As we look at his base here, he's got a little bit of a back fold, but it's still fairly open, right? They both have 4 woodline options, but they're very far away. They almost have that corner generation. And TRM was talking about the generations in the interview there, and he was also talking to me about the map generations. He said, I loaded up 30 games, and all of the generations were favored for my opponent. And mathematically, I find that hard to believe, but we'll take him at face value there. So he's got to be fairly happy with this one. This one's an okay map.
This one looks pretty all right for him. He's struggling here with the gazelles, wrangling them. Sometimes they can also be victim to the RNG there, but it looks like he'll be fine. So pushing those deer in, he is Tatars, so the herdables do last a little bit longer for him as well. Food,
but it's always good to get the gazelle.
Yeah, for sure. But food shouldn't be too much of an issue. You think we'll see a scout opening from him as well?
I think that's the most consistent. Yeah. Well, I mean, Against Incas, you usually want to go into scouts there because you don't want to be playing into Archer Skirm when he can just easily add in the Eagles, and then you don't have anything to really counter the Eagles with, right? You need your scouts to be able to counter those Eagles, whereas Faiga doesn't have to add that extra building to have Eagle production. He can just go with that barracks that he needs to build anyway to make that Archer range. So we'll take a look at the uptimes here. It'd be interesting to see whether they go with the newer trend and go no loom, or if they're going to get loom. It looks like TRM is planning for an 18 population uptime, and he's getting loom right now, so his villagers will have that extra HP. Faiga still has 5 vills
I was
in the
gonna
queue.
say, that's a lot of
Faiga or 5? Like, that's quite a few villagers to have in the queue right now. Maybe it's nerves, maybe this is an FC attempt. Who knows? I mean, he did say he was going to mix things up a little bit and show everyone something new, and he does end up unqueuing them.
Though.
So
but
it's
does
20.
he go up without loom? Okay, no, he's queuing more up again. He's going on gold. He is going to shake things up a little bit.
He's still pushing in that gazelle. This is not a fast castle map, Ellie. This is a very open map with a forward gold and forward berry.
He saw his map. He has scouted it.
He's still making bills. Okay, here we go. Strap in. Faiga is going for, okay, now he's clicking up to feudal age. He's going for a slower feudal age time. Back in the day, and when I say back in the day, I mean like 3 years ago before DE came out.
He unqueued.
Yeah, oh, what?
He unqueued.
He's still making villagers. Okay, here we go. Anyway, like I was going to say, back in the day, 21 pop, 22 pop, 23 pop sometimes into archers was a play that you could do. But people are too good now, and TRM will be in feudal age before Faiga even clicks up to feudal age. So he's going to have army coming back across to Faiga's base, and Faiga is going to be punished by someone of TRM's caliber for going up this late. So let's see if he can survive.
Loom is an absolute must for Faiga, so he's going to research that to get extra HP on his villagers. But my, oh my, TRM is looking to be in a really good position as he is getting some eco upgrades, getting his stable and his food income. I mean, no farms,
What is Faiga cooking here? It's 23 villagers. Like, it has to be a fast castle because you don't delay that much to just go like double archer range. You would go 21 pop to go double archer range. You could even make it work with 20 pop if your build is super, super tight, right?
Well, he didn't even small wall. Like, he has no walls.
Yeah, there's no defense.
Small walls. There's no racks.
There's nothing. He is just naked fast castling here. He is exposing himself to the world, as weird as that sounds, on the main stage
Yeah,
here.
naked,
And
exposing, and now there is a tower from TRM coming forward. I wonder if we don't see that Rax, then he's
just going to go Market Blacksmith. He's going to go Market Blacksmith. He's going to toss everything on gold. He's going to try and FC. But TRM knows what's up because he hasn't seen Faiga reach feudal age. So there's only one conclusion that you can come to, right? It's that it's going to be a fast castle. And now he shows up on the wood line, and all Faiga has here to defend is one eagle.
Of Dark Age Eagle.
He doesn't even have a barracks to make spearmen, and he's just kind of waiting for feudal age. He's like, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll add the market and blacksmith and see what happens. There's the quick wall attempt. TRM's not letting that happen as the villagers need to abandon the wood line, and even losing one villager here is going to be absolutely brutal. TRM will run away from the villager numbers here as the eagle comes back. That's good damage early, and right as Faiga manages to wall off this wood line, he will be welcomed by a forward tower from TRM. And archers too.
Say it ain't so. What's the status on his buildings? Do we have the
Market Blacksmith over there to the right?
I see that now.
I mean, this is just bad news for Faiga. This is really, really tough. There's a second villager going down, and his eco, well, he's got 5 more villagers queued in the TC, and now he's trying to YOLO drop a tower on the gold. Eagle getting some good hits against that archer, and villager is still battling, but TRM is desperately trying to punish this fast castle attempt from his opponent, and Faiga is now up to the castle age. So he got there. Will he be alive when he reaches it?
At what cost? At what cost? So at least gold is secure for the next little bit, and it's looking very market heavy. I'm looking at this eco balance here. You've got 0 on food, you've got 12 villagers on gold, and unfortunately, there's no Saracen market bonus.
Well, the interesting part here, as TRM is going to find himself some pretty good picks over on this side, might not be able to get that villager. Will Faiga be able to save this villager? No, TRM snipes him down. The interesting thing for TRM here is, like, do you keep adding military and feudal age? You know that castle age units are going to come out as we have a pause in the game. Both players just kind of taking a breath, maybe a technical issue here, but we're going to continue on in a second. The decision-making for TRM is now kind of weird, right? Because do you add more military and feudal age, or do you stall out and try and go up to castle age yourself? You've already done damage, but you need to hold your opponent in his base, because you can't let him come forward and get siege on your face when you're still in the feudal age. It's a very, very tricky area here for TRM. He's still in the lead, but there's an avenue which Faiga can take control of this game.
I feel like I need to take a drink and like take a little bit of a breather here, because like it was a horrible map for Faiga. So we just had to fix the hotkeys real quick. But it was a terrible map for Faiga. He saw the map and decided to go for this
It's a terrible map. He saw the map and then decided to go for the worst strategy for a map like this, but we'll see if it pans out, right? You see him going for another tower. He was Incas, so his towers cost less stone, and he can go for 2 of them here with the extra little stone that he gathered from his mine back there, as he's going to be able to defend this wood line. But TRM has killed 4 of his villagers before he even reaches the castle age. It's a very unorthodox build here from Faiga.
Okay, so I don't think, is he building a racks right now in the corner there of his base?
He bought food to get double bit axe, and there's the barracks, but what resources are we going to have to produce any military from the barracks?
Gold, so perhaps an archery range, and he's going to follow that up with some archers, or
I think it would be Monk Siege, right?
Or I was going to say the Monk Siege, but because he's building the racks, then I'm a little confused.
Look at this. Oh, no. We have archers underneath the tower, and now he's going to engage with villagers. He's going to try and hop those weak villagers inside the tower, and then once the units de-aggro from them, he's going to pop out again and try and hit them down with his villagers once again. But TRM, you can see the micro coming into play, dodging the arrows, sniping down those villagers, and even sending archers in at odd areas and getting another tower on that second wood line. As the second barracks comes out from Faiga, we know what this is. We've seen this before. It's an all-in eagle play from him. If TRM ever gets to the castle age, he can add in some monks to deal with the knights. But this is going to be really, really tough with 1 villager on food from Faiga to keep these eagles coming out.
It looks rusty dusty. We've got the 11 on gold, and they're working away. The tower is keeping them safe for now. But with that other tower dropped on that wood line, his options are quite limited. Like the nearest wood line is way back in the boons.
I love the fact not only that he's diversifying his wood lines, because he's got towers on 2 of them. I love the fact that he didn't use the eagles in defense. He sent the eagles forward, and you can see the eagles are hunting right now, and this is going to distract TRM. And when TRM is dodging around tower fire, trying to snipe down villagers, he could potentially lose vills here, but he's brought the scouts back. TRM is on damage control right now at his own base. He's going to go for the quick walls. He's going to save his villagers, and he's going to still keep applying pressure with those forward towers on Faiga's base as he tries to get up to Castle Age himself. However, eagle number is building here from our player in yellow.
It is. There's still Eagle Scouts not yet upgraded to the Warriors.
That's just too expensive.
That's too expensive. Like the economy is string bean eco here that he's got, but it looks like there was an archer that was very weak at the back of the wood line. That seemed to have been taken care of. So he's got wood, he's got gold coming in, and now we're fighting on this hill. And Tatar's gonna be taking a good engagement here.
Taking some decent ones. It's not the greatest one that TRM could have taken. Once he loses these scouts, the Eagles will have a pretty good time against the Archers, but you can see the Scouts getting a bit of value there. And the difficult decision here for TRM was whether he kept producing Scouts or whether he tried to go up to Castle Age. And he's actually clicked up to Castle Age, and I would like to see him continue to make Scouts here, because the Archers simply won't be enough if your opponent comes forward with a ton of Eagles, even without the upgrade.
You know, we were mentioning that pros were probably watching the first game here of the day, and then you're like, oh, they're probably not taking notes. Check it out. Faiga, his villager production, precariously low.
Well, I mean, he did kind of lose 5.
Yeah.
So that he has less idle TC time than TRM. And now that I say that, the idle TC time is going to tick up, right? He's going to have more. But we see the Eagles coming in on this side. TRM wisely walling around his gold. He's not going to lose any villagers there, as the Eagles still look for opportunities. And he's only 1 minute and 15 seconds away from the Castle Age, and then he can start making Step Lancers. He can start making Knights. He can start making those units that are going to counter these Eagles. Faiga has 10 Eagles on the field. He's got more in production, but his eco is still in absolute shambles behind this.
You know, perception stronger than reality.
I think both players perceive that Faiga's in a really bad spot right now. I think both players know exactly how bad it is for him.
Well, the villager count's certainly not looking too good for our Inca player. TRM, he's in a really comfortable 8 villager lead. He does not have any stone though, because he did build the towers forward. So unlikely that we'll see any town centers with those lack of resources, but the gold and the food is looking good, and that's that production.
That's a good surround by the Eagles. Faiga's trying to get in front. He's trying to get into that army, but he can't quite reach it. Does take a few archers out, so now the archer upgrades just kind of off the table for TRM. And look at TRM's gold. You were mentioning his gold. Look at how crowded it is in there. There is a traffic jam on this gold, and that's severely impacting his efficiency.
Deleting houses?
Yeah.
This is a frozen
They're taking notes. They're taking notes, Ellie. And I'm taking notes now from you because you called it out earlier. The worker efficiency for TRM was at 40-something% for the last minute. It's just now ticked up to 54, but these villagers are still going to be kind of jumbled in there, right? And if you look at the minimap, all of the pressure now is on TRM's base. It is completely shifted, but TRM is massing up the Step Lancers, getting ready to go.
Well, I'll also like to point out that the warrior upgrade for those Eagles are coming in, so taking this fight now...
Well, it's coming in, and the Step Lancers aren't microing back, so the Eagles are actually going to get some good engagements. TRM runs away with the 1 HP Step Lancer. Great play there. He baits the Eagles after it, and he's going to add in a Monastery and maybe think about healing up that Step Lancer later as the Eagles kind of take an engagement that they were never going to win, and these Eagles are going to go down as well. The 1 HP Step Lancer is still living, and now upgrades coming in from TRM.
The score is also changing really quickly. Who's in the lead, who's not in the lead. So it's actually a really tight game. So Faiga is certainly mixing things up here. At home, his economy is...
It's getting better.
Is improved. He's got monks now. He's got farm eco that's looking good. No horse collar, but neither does TRM have that. So that pretty much is equal there. But the monk is going to be really good to get some more value of those Eagles, healing them up. He also has only the first defense, but yeah, food is also, he's getting a little bit more food, so maybe we'll see some more upgrades come on in.
I like this from TRM. You saw he just sent that 1 HP Step Lancer back. He's paying attention to his numbers. He's not going to take any risks. He still knows he has the advantage. And we see the food price there. Like, the food price is up at 155 gold. So if you're Faiga and you're trying to buy food, is it what? What was that villager going for an adventure? Well, he's dead now anyway. If you're trying to buy food like Faiga is, and you're trying to have all of your villagers on gold, it's going to get more and more difficult, progressively difficult as that price goes up. You see him now getting wheelbarrow. He's still trying to add in Eagles, but we have Step Lancers, we have Light Cav in upgrade coming in from TRM to deal with the monks, and he's going to have all the tools he needs.
Yeah, so that monk for TRM, probably more so to heal up his own Step Lancers. They're not going to be the best unit against Eagle Scouts, seeing as Eagles do have that built-in monk resistance, the conversion resistance. But I'm wondering, when is the Siege Workshop going to be dropped?
I think it's really tough for both players to drop a Siege Workshop here in, forward. Number one for Faiga.
Well,
I mean, TRM's coming forward. For Faiga, it's tough because of the Step Lancer sniping the Siege. For TRM, we might see the difficulty here when he tries to come forward with this. The Eagles have so much mobility, right? And then once you have that Siege Workshop forward and you have the Siege, you have to hang around with your Step Lancers. You can no longer use the mobility. So he can come out with Monks, convert them. He can take the fight with the Eagles and you're not running away from it like you want to, ideally. But TRM does have a ton of vision with that tower. He'll see the army coming forward if they are there to pressure the Siege Workshop. One little thing I noticed at the back of Faiga's economy, instead of palisade walls around that wood line, as we're about to have a big engagement here, he went for houses to counter the Step Lancer play.
Yeah, because they do have that extra range, so they're able to fight over palisades. All right, so Faiga now just sees this Siege Workshop as it's already up, and those monks are going to try to get some really nice engagements. We can see the micro from TRM as he's trying to target his scouts onto those monks, and it looks like he will get a few picks there.
Two conversions, but he got a monk. And this looks like a decent fight for Faiga, right? It's hard to tell, but I mean, the way this game has been going so far, that looked like a decent engagement.
All right, now the question is, does Faiga waste some time and then try to clean out this this Siege Workshop, or does he just get Redemption and Redemption his way out here?
It depends, right? How much gold does he have left over? He's been saturating that gold pile forever. He's going to have to shift out at some point. But that's a perfect example of why going for that Siege Workshop is so risky. When you have an opponent that has a mobile composition and an opponent that you want to be kind of picking away at, hitting on the flank. So you don't want to be fighting him army to army in the center. The Siege Workshop kind of anchors you down in that position. It forces you to take that fight, as now the Eagles are looping around the backside here, and it's not only Faiga that might be running out of gold, TRM might be running out of gold shortly too, because he's been saturating that quite a bit.
Did Faiga not build his second town center on some gold, or did I miss that?
Oh, he might have some at the front there. It might be gold, it might be stone. I'm not 100% sure.
I think it was on some other resource there. Let's quickly check. Yeah,
it is on gold,
so
okay.
He's got some gold, he's fine. And Redemption is coming in. He's also getting his pikeman upgrade. So I feel like he's in a really nice position here.
He swung it back. He swung it back in his favor. And the Incas have the momentum. They have the position now. And that's the last thing that the Tatars want here.
And look at the monk numbers. I mean, he's lost a couple now, but he's still queuing them up. He's up to 6. And with Redemption, we can be converting buildings and just being really annoying. Like, if you convert the stable and then limit that production, it would be really... Oh, nice engagement here.
I was going to say, why are we making a mangonel? You're never going to get value from that. And then he kills the monk there. Well, so I guess it's something, right? But the monks are pushing forward. They're converting the buildings. You can switch the conversions onto the Step Lancers as they come in, or you can just take his stable. As we see TRM trying to take a good fight, good micro here with the Step Lancers, one-shotting those Eagles if they're all attacking the same target. Faiga's army kind of falling apart. Monk suiciding itself right into the town center there, and TRM takes a fantastic engagement at his base. You can see the KD 54 to 38 in his favor, but the villager count, it just keeps kind of creeping closer and closer and closer here for Faiga.
Well, we have 2 TCs versus 1. TRM is still buying food. Prices
They're both using that market.
171 gold.
Yep.
That is wild. But at least Wheelbarrow's in for the Inca player, so his economy, the villagers carry a little bit more, walk a little bit faster. So Faiga has some villagers coming forward. I feel like he's thinking about getting a siege up on that hill.
This is an insane recovery from him. To be down 4 villagers when you reach Castle Age, completely open base, 2 denied woodlines, and then to finally find yourself in a position like this, where you're gonna have the military advantage. You have monks with Redemption converting your opponent's buildings. You've got pikemen to stop the Step Lancers, and your opponent is still on 1 TC. This is a fantastic position for Faiga, and I think he's taken the advantage in this game, but it's gonna be a defensive castle here for TRM, as he needs to try and protect that area of his base.
Slingers are going to be coming out now from Faiga, so he's really digging deep into those Inca pockets.
Into the Inca tech tree for sure. I mean, you just got to look at the army at the top left, right? We've got Ram, we've got a converted Step Lancer, Monk, Eagles, Pikemen. We got more monks there, 11 with 3 more in the queue as he spots the castle. TRM is trying to get up
The
here.
monks are here. They're going to be converting villagers. The castle is, what, at 80%? A little bit more, because when monks are converting, then the villagers aren't building. But I think it looks like that castle
will go up, yeah.
will go up. The monks need a roll. They need to move out, children. Move out.
These monks need to get out of Dodge, because we see a couple conversions happening maybe on the Step Lancers, but once that castle goes up, all of the units are going to die.
No!
He does have monks to replace that, though. If you look at the monk numbers, it's still looking solid. I'm not sure about the slingers switch here, but look at the monk micro from Faiga. It's looking pretty good as Step Lancers are being converted. They're coming in to try and snipe the monks from him now, and it's still good micro from TRM. Down to 4 monks now is Faiga, and also down to only 7 on food, 36 on gold, and he's still buying food, Ellie.
Well, Faiga's now with the villager lead. He's up to 71 here, so he is feeling fine. This fight, like he's converting those
He didn't get a single conversion there. That was really unfortunate. That was 2 very long monk timers on those conversions.
But he converted that Siege Workshop, right? This was TRM Siege Workshop?
Yep.
He says, we'll take that. And that's got to feel really, really
What
nice.
is this conversion luck here for Faiga? He's getting the maximum roll on every single conversion, it feels like. Very fortunate for TRM. If it was a normal game, TRM would have given him 4 Step Lancers there.
Well, it looks like we are cleaning out those towers so Faiga can regain access to his wood lines. That's always really good. The Ram taking things out.
Yep.
Beautiful. I'm not sure if we have another hotkey issue here. The players are playing on a new setup here, so we have to expect a little bit of a...
It's a great game, though. I really like it. It's back and forth. I mean, TRM did all that damage early, right? He killed... I just can't get over it. He went for 24 population FC, no walls. No walls whatsoever with an open map. And then he lost 4 villagers, and he somehow managed to recover from that. TRM also taking great engagements with the Step Lancers, it must be said. He's been building up his numbers, but the problem with Incas, the problem with Aztecs, the problem with the Meso-Civs is they just keep coming over and over and over and over. You can win a decisive fight 3 times, but if you don't kill your opponent, they're always going to show up with military again because the production is insane. And we were just talking about 4 monks. He's got 10 more monks here.
And
if you get 10 conversions, there's your army.
There's your army. And he's picking up relics too, so we're getting really nice value. And the relic's just going to be providing a nice little trickle of gold. And he's at 32 on gold. So this is looking...
Yeah,
promising.
I mean, it's looking like something the Incas want to do, right? You want to have everything on gold. You want to just keep pushing. It's very encouraging that Faiga now has 16 on food, which tells me that he's added in some farms behind this. As we see the light cap continue to come around and try and snipe these monks. TRM doing a fantastic job with that. As the Step Lancers are pulled out of conversion range. More conversions coming in though, more Eagles coming in, but that's a lot of Step Lancers, and the Monk Micro is kind of escaping Faiga at the moment. TRM is doing a great job with the Step Lancers, sniping monks down 1 by 1 as Faiga, I think, starts to realize that this game is going to go a little bit later. It's not just going to be about that snowball of monks and pikes and eagles. He's going to have to start adding an eco behind this.
Oh, look at this.
Yep.
Open arms, those eagles. Oh no,
they're leaving.
Leave.
Don't leave.
Oh no, they're coming back. They're coming back.
we can't jinx it here. The villagers are coming out.
Oh no, they're patrolling. They're
Yeah.
patrolling. But look at the stone. So Faiga, he's creeping up to that castle amount, and Incas get a discount on stone building, so he can afford one.
Yep, I believe the Inca castle is like 520 stone or something like that.
Well, where are
Don't quote
those
me on that.
villagers? Are we going to drop it forward? Do you think he's going to be a little bit more defensive?
Oh, he can't drop it forward, not with the Step Lancers there.
Oh.
Step Lancers are heading into Faiga's base right now. They're coming in to try and find damage. They're like, the gold was here before. Oh, there's no gold there anymore. Faiga's already mined through all of it, and he's basically put it into buying food for the majority of this game. But once again, TRM showing the mobility of the Step Lancers, how dangerous they can be. They're in the farming eco behind that. That's the new food eco that Faiga added. And if he can't take that, it's going to be really, really tough for him to keep up villager production and get into the tech switches that he needs to make, and especially Imperial Age.
You want to? Oh, okay. It looks like some villagers might be going down here if TRM's not paying attention. But you want to hear what's also very sad? No horse collar for our Inca friends. So these farms, it's going to. I mean, he's got a lot of wood now, but long term, it's going to be quite the drain on his eco.
Well, also, I mean, the eco upgrades has just been lacking this game for both of them, and it's understandable. It's been a crazy game, right? Open maps. No player is fully walled here, as we see the quick walls over there on the left side. Step Lancers coming in. And those are some pretty decent quick walls from Feiga. Can he finish the job? Another house? Another house? No! It doesn't work out. He goes for the palisade wall, but it's Step Lancers, and they will scoff at this palisade wall as they continue to kill the villagers behind.
Well, villager count still in the lead for Feiga here. Military numbers, like the value, 2K for TRM, 1K3 for Feiga. So it's still quite a close game. TRM, though, even the eco kill death, 14-15, very, very tight. But overall, Feiga losing 139 units compared to only 63 for TRM. So TRM getting a little bit more value of his units, keeping them alive a little longer.
Well, that's the story of just fighting up against Incas or Aztecs or Mayans or something like that. You're always going to have a better KD. It's just, can you deal that finishing blow? Because they're going to be back again. And once again, Feiga has the military advantage. He hasn't cut production on the pikemen. In fact, he's queuing up some more. And suddenly, he's got a ton of resources floating, right? He's got 1K wood in the bank. Food is looking good. He's up to 43 on food, Ellie. He was at 7 a couple minutes ago. That is a crazy boom. We see TRM doing the same thing.
Looking at that stone, like that's castle money. He's dropping another town center. TRM is looking to drop a castle, and then Feiga's like, no, we'll take this hill, it seems.
TRM sending villagers forward. This could be another big fight here. He's adding 3 more barracks, and he's got 12 pikemen queued, so he's looking for the castle age production, and it's simply not going to happen if this castle goes up from TRM. That castle can basically defend anything that Feiga is going to do in the castle age. So he either denies this, or it goes up, he sees this, and then he has to transition into Imperial Age. He's coming forward with his villagers. He's looking for this opportunity. The castle is at 83%. The villagers won't be stalled out long enough, and the Step Lancers are here, and this could be a disaster for Feiga.
The villagers run away, run away. Okay, where is that castle being drawn? It was very ambitious.
Look at the mini map. It was in TRM's base where he wanted to go for that. Is he dropping another one? There he is! It was all a distraction. He sent the villagers forward. He baited him. TRM is busy looking on the other side, and Feiga says, knock, knock, here I am. I'm right in the middle of your base. Is it worth the 10 vills he lost? I don't know. Only time can tell.
Well, he's going to grab the gold from TRM. Why not? He's also
going to grab the stone, too, for another castle.
Yeah, he's got a gazillion monks here forward. Those villagers look prime for the converting, you know? But maybe we want to keep their charge for those Step Lancers or some buildings. Who knows?
God, what a great moment there from Feiga. It's just deception, distraction, right? You keep him busy on one side. All of his army is there. You're going to lose some, but you're going to gain this super valuable position at the front of your opponent's base as he's converting all of the houses from TRM. He's got a castle on the front. He's got control over his stone, his gold, and he's making some cameos for the raids. Can TRM manage to kind of settle this game down? He still has Step Lancer numbers, but he's going to have to get his economy under control.
Villager count is looking pretty even, but we do have those 3 town centers versus also 3 TCs for Inca player. And yeah, those villagers in the corner have been just hanging out for a while with their wood ready to drop a town center, but missing the 100 stone for the TC.
Step Lancers still killing villagers forward too, so great use of the mobility. Once again, time after time, TRM just running around sniping villagers. Feiga has done everything he wanted to do in this game. He's made it crazy. He's gone off meta from what TRM is used to. You heard it in the interview leading up to this game. He thinks TRM is more experienced in the meta, so he's going to shift things up. And here comes another castle. Maybe the initial castle he wanted to make over on this side. He has the pikemen to support. He's got 22 pikemen to support as TRM now tries to make a switch into cav archers to deal with said pikemen.
Yeah,
and this is going to be pretty difficult for Faiga to get this up.
Tatars do get the thumb ring for free, so why not? Having that support is going to be quite nice. Pikemen, I mean, they'll do all right if the
I don't know if this goes up. I don't know if this goes up. He doesn't have enough villagers there. Look at where are the pikemen? The pikemen are dead. He goes for a gate on the other side. Another quick gate from Faiga. He just needs to get this castle up, but the cav archers are here. Another tower coming up from TRM. Could this be a doubt castle?
Oh, it's at 74% here, and the villager count, there's 3 of them left. It's not gonna happen, and I think TRM's gonna have to wall this one in with some gates or something. We don't want any more group of villagers coming to finish that up. That would be really annoying to deal with. So not the best here for Faiga as he realizes that that castle's not going to go up.
Sending them to their deaths. Those villagers.
No.
We have a job for you to do.
Those girls, no, they were beautiful. They had their whole lives ahead of them.
It's a little risky, but it pays very well. Plot twist, you'll never get that paycheck. You'll never be able to collect it. Faiga, I mean, Faiga is still at 41 on food, right? His eco, it looks like he can click up to Imperial Age, but...
Mike, is he going to imp soon? It looks very, very probable.
But he has to keep making military to defend against the Step Lancers and the Cav Archers, right?
That is the thing. That is the thing.
So open here at the back. And what's going on at the front of TRM's base? Because that keeps turning more and more yellow over on the right side of TRM's base. I think he's just converting all of the buildings.
I think it's looking like the...
He is. He's just simply converting every building. And now he's in on the wood line too.
Hey, he's converted a villager as well, so maybe you can build some forward nonsense, or just convert the buildings. I think TRM's just at that wood line, and I think, are there villagers coming forward, or is that the Step Lancers up north?
I think those are the Step Lancers up north.
Okay, that's a lot to keep track of in this game.
Yep.
There's raids everywhere, villagers constantly having to be pulled back to safety. Villager count, though, both players at 116, 127.
Yep, and I think it's about time they start thinking about the time limit on these games. Right, we're getting up there. I believe it's an hour for the time limit.
No, is it 75 in-game minutes?
We'll find out when the time limit happens, but basically, so 6 more in-game minutes until that hour mark. You can see Faiga with that in the back of his mind. He's sending all of the villagers. He is currently 2,000 score behind. He needs to make something happen. Now, Inca villagers do have the armor, but you can see he's misclicking right now. He's actually building the gate. He misclicked onto the gate. He's trying to complete the castle. TRM is sending all of his villagers to batter down that castle. He's trying to prevent this. Faiga now has the castle at 80%. We don't have many minutes left in this game. Can he pull off a miraculous score switch here?
90% here if it goes up. There's lots of
But
fighting
he's clearing
happening.
the army here, Ellie, and that's so many villagers exposed. The score is getting closer and closer as Faiga finally gets that castle up. He's going to ungarrison his military, and this might be a throw from TRM, honestly, to send so many units forward to attack this castle. You're going to give him so many kills. You're going to boost his score by so much. He was 2,300 score behind. He's only 1,500 score behind now.
I don't know. Can Imperial give you a lot of points? Because you have to pay like 800.
Yeah, no, you never invest into that right now. You go all in Castle Age. You have to for both players.
Every single tech that you can get in, like that's so much wood. Do you sell the wood to get the gold? I believe 1 point is 1 gold as well.
But look at this. He has no military to ungarrison, and he doesn't have murder holes. Murder holes could be a big technology here. He's going to try and kill these villagers. The score has to be in the back of both of these players' minds, and it looks like TRM is able.
Coming out.
It kind of looks like TRM's been able to just hold his position here in terms of the score, and he's still at the back here. He's still raiding. Great job from TRM. Faiga is all over the place, but so is TRM, and TRM has managed to defend from this.
How many points do you get for a castle? Does Faiga just drop 2 more castles, just literally anywhere on the map?
I think, I mean, you have to just try and get kills, right? Also, if you think about it, the score doesn't apply until the castle is finished, and it actually takes away from your score. So you have to factor in, like, as he drops the castle forward here, will that be built in time, right? That one will probably go up in time.
I don't know. I feel like you need to sell the stone, sell the wood, all of your resources. Just have as much gold as you can, as many points.
But wood counts for score as well.
But not as much as gold.
Yeah, but then you're getting a bad conversion rating on the market, right? As we see the castle now being repaired, and the time limit, I believe, is reached here, or one of the players tapped out, and it's going to be TRM winning that game. Fantastic game, actually, for game number 1.
Oh,
craziness!
I don't think it was as easy for TRM as he thought it would be.
No.
It was a horrible start for Faiga.
That's a very difficult game to play for both. That was a bold strategy from Faiga. TRM played the meta, and Faiga just said nope.
And you know what? These games where you kind of go off in your own little world, try something new, they can end up being super entertaining. And Faiga was close.
Yep.
If the game went a little longer, who knows who would have won that one? I couldn't say.
That was wild, and you could definitely tell that Faiga had a ton of pressure on him to do damage, and it was a great recovery from him, to be honest. He lost so many villagers trying to get up to the castle age. He finally gets the castle age. He's so far behind. He has no defenses, no wood line, no nothing. 1 barracks and a dream, and he made it happen. TRM, though, holding on with the Step Lancers, going for that defensive castle, which kind of saved his life, and banking on the fact that Faiga didn't have the time to get all the conversions with the monks, right? He just charged in there with his army a bunch of times, Lightcav kind of distracting, Step Lancers going out of conversion range, and then coming back and sniping those monk numbers down before they could make the difference. Fantastic first game. Congrats to TRM. We go on to Faiga's home map now, going to game number 2.
Well, it's gonna be Nomad. And I'm sure that if you look at the number of Nomad games played, I would say Faiga probably has more under his belt.
More, yeah.
I know if you watch TRM stream, you know if he gets anything other than Arabia, he's not too happy about it.
Yeah, TRM, we were talking before, and you know, he said he's been practicing Nomad, but it's not really his favorite map, but obviously he recognizes how important it is to be practicing for these games, to be up on this main stage, and he is going to be prepared for sure. But I'm interested to know what Civ strategies they're going to go for with Spanish being banned. Are they going to go Malians, Persians? Like, I can't quite recall the details of the draft, so I don't know which ones they picked.
I think Faiga also had Aztecs in his draft, if I'm recalling correctly, so he could be another Meso Civ.
Not so great on Nomad, but maybe Acropolis, maybe.
Okay, I was thinking that maybe TRM was saving Acropolis, Tatars for Acropolis, but he went for something a little bit different, and in the end it paid off for him.
Yep.
So we'll definitely be looking. I don't know, it's anything goes. These players have been thinking about their civs for a while. It's just the best of 3, so they knew the maps, they knew their civs.
Yep, and TRM, it looks like he's back now. Okay, so taking a little bit of a break. We'll get into the game shortly. Man, that was a really good comeback.
How many monks passed away that game?
There was a lot of monks. We saw, like, there was very unfortunate timings there for Faiga. I think if the conversion luck goes his way, maybe that game is a little bit different. But he had at least 4 conversions in a row that were the max timing. Now, if you're not familiar with the way conversions work, there's a minimum time that it can go, and there's a maximum time that it can go. And a couple of those were just right at the limit for the maximum. But to be fair, you make your own luck, right? And TRM was constantly pulling away the Step Lancers. He wasn't letting them be converted. I think Faiga only, at the end of the day, probably converted 6 or 7 Step Lancers. Not too much with the amount of monks that he was making. So great job.
Lots of houses converted, though.
Yeah, yeah, and just distracting, right? You're converting houses at the front. You're converting villagers on the woodline. The siege workshop as well in the center, on the side, everything like that. But TRM was focused on the right places. That castle engagement still kind of blows my mind that he went for it to hit it down with his bills. Like, why? We don't know, but I mean, at least he put pressure on him. He forced his opponent to resist.
It was a similar thing with Pyro throwing those villages.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just a
It's when that time limit comes ticking in your brain, you just kind of lose your self-control, maybe.
Well, I was not expecting it to go to the limit there. I thought after that very shaky start, I was like, oh, well, we're going to be entering game 2. But Faiga keeping things interesting. And this is his home map here on Nomad. He chose it, picking Vietnamese.
I understand Vietnamese. Magyars. Why? Why? I don't get it. Well, I'm sure we'll get it soon. Maybe he wants to go for a scout opening or something like that.
I think the plan is maybe then just ignore water and then go fully on land and early, maybe.
Maybe, but Magyars have no significant, they have no eco bonus on Nomad whatsoever. There's no wolves on this map, so you're not winning hitting those wolves, right? Cav archers generally aren't the best play on Nomad. Scouts will really slow down your castle age timing, and especially if your opponent goes onto water, you're not really going to be able to invest in water and scouts at the same time. So I'm just kind of sitting here and I'm wondering what the plan is with Magyars, especially against Vietnamese, which is a civ that can know exactly where your base is. So he knows where the scouts are coming from because he sees your starting TC from the very moment you get it up.
Well, I'm sure he has a plan for us. Certainly TRM has something cooking underneath his hat there, so we'll definitely see when we all see truer things have never been said.
Vietnamese is kind of interesting for Nomad now with the faster eco upgrades, but we're about to get into the game here as this is Faiga's home map. We're going to see TRM with the Magyars and Faiga playing with the Vietnamese. Now, as I said before, the Vietnamese, it's a team bonus, but of course, as a 1v1, he still takes advantage of that. We'll be able to see TRM's TC as soon as it is completed. So I'll have a good idea of where that is. As for the dock from TRM, which is on the right side, kind of near to where Faiga's TC is himself, that will likely be discovered pretty quickly by the Scouting Goats. The Scouting Goats, that sounds like a band name or something. From Faiga, and ideally in a 1v1 Nomad situation, you want to have all your goats exploring the shoreline to find where that dock is.
So the docks are up for both? Am I seeing that correctly? Yeah, there's a dock for Faiga, there's a dock for TRM. So it looks like the ignoring the water not going to happen for TRM. So he certainly has a plan. In any case, Mr. Faiga's town center location, he's got a really nice wood line, stone not too far away. The gold kind of being in front of him is a little icky.
Yep, that gold could be a problem, right? Especially if your opponent is going for feudal age pressure. You want to go out to that gold. Good luck when there's potentially towers or scouts around that area. But Faiga will be aware of where his opponent is, where the pressure might come from. And when you're fighting up against a civ like Magyars, you know there's only a couple options, right? They're probably not going to want to play the water war against you. You're probably narrowed it down to either feudal pressure with scouts or some sort of FC into knights or cav archers. So if you see his time to feudal age is a bit fast, you can start to secure that gold. Maybe start to place a tower on that or something. Long board lure here from TRM, but it looks like he's going to get that in fine. We'll see if the nerves are impacting him at all. No loom on this Ville, and the pathing's going to get a little weird around that side of the TC.
Well, can we just appreciate this beauty of a town center? We've got two nice wood lines, a really nice stone, a very healthy gold deposit. This is looking like a dream map for TRM.
The only problem for TRM is his dock position, right? It's so close to his opponent, but I think Faiga, what he did there, he sent the goat along the northern shore, but if we check Faiga's Fog of War, I'm not sure if he's found that dock. No, he turned it back again, and he's currently looking for boars with his goats. You never want to take the meat from the goats until you're in like feudal age. You want them to be exploring at all times. Nomad, especially 1v1, is all about information. The more information you have, the better, as you can control your opponent's movements, or you can find out if he's expanding for another dock position or whatnot, as Faiga is going to go take that boar. But he finds a goat at the same time, and that goat might go right back up to that dock position from TRM in the north.
We'll see, but TRM also has some hunt nearby in his town center, so I think TRM definitely better TC placement here right out the get-go. And he's already up to 3 fishing ships, adding a 4th.
Is he not going to find it?
Oh, is Feiga going to
He's not going to find it?
Maybe. If he goes up north, you got to go up north a little bit more.
Yeah, you have to follow the shoreline. This is classic for 1v1 Nomad. Right now, I think he's still looking for other boars, so he might go up there.
I mean, there is that boar up in the north as well.
But he didn't see it. He didn't see that. He didn't see the house. He didn't see anything.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Mr. TRM, very, very lucky that that house is built as very close to the shoreline as it is. If it was built any further out, then...
The goat's coming back, though. The goat is coming back. Everything about this game depends on that goat. As the goat is following the goat from TRM, the goat wars have begun, and the goat is now hugging the shoreline, so it should theoretically find that boar, which he just saw for a split second. Might actually send a villager out there, and it might find this dock. Now, mill is being placed from Feiga. That's going to be his second Dark Age building, which implies that he's going to click up some...
Mission Impossible music here. It's like... Dun, dun.
Pink Panther, Mission Impossible, you know, something a little bit sneaky. Will the goat find the house? Will the goat get close enough to his opponent's dock position? Once he sees the house, the dock is confirmed and he finds it. Great information gathering there from the livestock of Feiga's empire, and he's relaying that back as Feiga almost got walled in on his own dock, but he manages to escape. TRM trying to be a little bit naughty over there at the forward villager position from Feiga.
You think that Feiga is going to do something crazy and take this weak Vil and try to get a boar as well? I think not, but maybe.
I mean...
Oh, he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it.
I mean, you're kind of on the main stage. You're kind of one loss away, but there's still a villager coming out there from TRM. He's going to take it in. I think I would have tried to take that boar in, and I think I probably would have lost the villager after going for like 15 house stalls along the way. But Feiga deciding, you know, he's going to be better safe than sorry. He gets Loom, and he's going to click up to Feudal Age shortly. TRM is already on the way up to Feudal Age. Now let's see if he does add in that barracks. He's on gold right now. So right now it looks like it's going to be a water play with maybe fire galleys or galleys of his own. Because he's got 4 villagers on gold there, but maybe the barracks and the stable are still in the cards. Who knows?
Well, Feiga's going to be not too far behind. He's also on the way, and both players have Loom here. 20 villagers. What was the delay? What was that? They both had a little bit of idle time. I think.
Yeah, some idle TC time from both of these guys, right?
All right, well, it happens. Meanwhile, Feiga, he's got the stone coming in. Do you think we'll see Tower Rush? Is this looking maybe man-at-arm towery to you?
No, I think Tower Rush is kind of bad on Nomad, to be honest. I mean, you never really do the damage because your opponent can get up to Feudal Age pretty fast, right? I think this might be him thinking that there's some sort of feudal pressure coming in from TRM, so he needs more than one defensive tower. Yeah, especially with that forward gold. It wouldn't surprise me to see once he gets to Feudal Age, he drops a tower on that immediately, just to keep himself safe. And look at that, it is. That's an archery range right there from TRM, and that's a forward archery range, which is very unorthodox, and the GOAT has not spotted it. So the GOAT has been the MVP so far. He's kind of slacking a little bit.
Not the GOAT
exactly.
Anyway, does TRM see that Feiga is taking stone?
I don't think TRM has much scouting on what Feiga is doing, and Feiga is actually he does see he sees the mining camp, and Feiga is actually adding in a market, and he's probably going to sell some of that stone and try and go up to Castle Age. TRM, on the other hand, is making archers from that, and he's making another production building at home. What is it? No, it's a blacksmith. And of course, the barracks is there too. Archers, Ellie, I hate to say it, but archers are just simply not good on Nomad 1v1, and I think we'll see why in a second here as he's going double range investment.
Well,
they're just so easily countered.
Feiga is going for Castle Age, and
Rathans.
he's got a lot of villagers on stone, so skip the towers. Let's get to that castle. Let's get those Rattan archers out. Very fashionable. I think they're one of the best dressed units.
Yep, and they're very good against archers too.
They're an anti-archer archer.
But I mean, I don't know. If TRM's been practicing 1v1 Nomad and his strategy is to go archers, we'll see how it pans out. He could find himself some really good opportunities here against Faiga, but it is worth pointing out Faiga does have Town Watch. Look at how much vision he has on his buildings there. So the archers will be pushing in. He'll spot them pretty soon. Does he notice them is another question. There is a weak villager, and
TRM is not going to get it.
Able to snipe anything. These villagers escape, but there's not enough stone here for a castle just yet. Now, will Faiga go for defensive towers? It doesn't appear like it. He's actually going to stonewall the archers inside of his economy as he runs over to the other side of the map, maybe attempting to find a little bit more stone for himself.
So he has that market. I'm not quite sure what he'll be able to buy and sell to get castle money.
He just goes for a tower to defend the stone, and then he goes and collects that stone again. But yeah, that first tower was too far back. He's going to place another one. He's going to have to bring the weak villagers back. He does lose one villager, and now brings them back out to the fight again.
Oh, I'm so scared for those very weak villagers. Please, we got to keep them safe, keep them secret, keep them safe. But now these archers they can't really hide underneath the castle or the tower because they're in range of the town center. So, nice play. Faiga's able to have his stone. No gold income at the moment, but lots of food.
Have his stone and mine it too. As the fishing ships now go down from that fire galley from Faiga. So TRM kind of falling far behind here, and we're looking at his resources. He can't click up to the castle age just yet. He does have the archers on the field, but the archers are running out of targets here. They had one opportunity to really snipe villagers. Now that opportunity's gone, and his opponent is going to be into a castle sooner rather than later with 11 on stone here. And Rattan archers, as we mentioned, very, very powerful. Also, his opponent still has fishing ships. So his opponent will have food coming in, doesn't need villagers on food. Can just focus on that with the fishing ships, but he's found some more vills over on this side.
That's quite the, wow, that is quite the nice engagement here for TRM, who's also using the market now to get himself into the castle age. So he'll be joining Faiga in just 2.5 minutes. By that time, I'm assuming the castle will already be up. He has no military, so I mean, we've also seen some weird things
Where
from Faiga.
Where are these fishing ships going? What do we do? We don't even have a dock over here. Well, is he sending a villager out to Yeah, he's sending a villager out to make.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Okay. But I'm wondering, do you think, because Faiga has been doing some pretty crazy things, maybe he feels like he's the underdog that he has to do these crazy things. Does he go forward with no military and drop?
You can't, because I don't think you can. I think you can make your second one for it. I think he's going to want to make it in between the stone and the gold there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the archers are still here from TRM, and you're sending weak villagers out there. Okay, makes it safer. That's good, but you need the walls for it in case those archers come in. You can see him even prioritizing more villagers to that castle. As long as he keeps his fishing ships alive, as long as he denies the fishing eco from his opponent, he can get this castle up, start Rattan production, and start pushing these archers back. But now the archers are coming in, and he might lose some villagers. Good micro so far to bring the villagers back to the TC, but once again, he sends them back out there.
Not the weak one, no.
He keeps hitting the go back to work hotkey, and he keeps forgetting that the villagers he garrisoned in the TC are like 0 HP. And they'll die in a single hit.
They heal a little bit, but not that fast, not that much there. But all right, so TRM is just joining in Castle Age as Faiga already has his Rattan Archer production. So if TRM wanted to go for crossbows, probably not going to happen now, as these Rattan Archers are going to take quite nice engagement, especially with Botkin coming in just 10 more seconds. So,
but he has no gold income. He can't even afford the Rattan Archers. He's going to have to get back out to this gold again. The archers are doing a fantastic job controlling this, right? He's trying to take the gold.
Does he want to make a town center that with no resources? No, he can't afford it.
No, he just wants to take the gold. But he can't even get the Rattans out to take it, because TRM is doing a fantastic job with those archers to stall everything out.
I mean, he'll have 2 now. He'll be fine. He's 3 on the field. It was 2 or 3?
TRM now coming forward with the Mangonel and Knights as well. See a Mangonel in the queue. See a couple Knights on the field. He's got double stable, but remember, he doesn't have fishing eco. So his food supply is going to be really bad to try and produce knights from 2 stables and produce from that TC. He's got a few villagers on the hunt over here. He's got a few villagers on the berries, and that's it. And if Faiga sees these knights here, he can add in a monastery. He can keep going for production with the Rattans. With that, the siege workshop is there. Surely that's not the best place for the siege workshop.
TRM, he's taking some liberties here as he's making some beautiful outposts to get lots of vision. Mr. Faiga, does he see this? Yes.
He does. Town Watch coming in clutch, right?
He knows what's coming for him. And what will be the counter? Is he going to make his own siege workshop? The wood income is kind of lacking.
I don't think you really care all that much about that siege workshop over there. I mean, you're going to care now that the knights are here, but without any production buildings to really support that, it's not too big of an issue. One monastery here and one knight conversion can clear all of this up, but it's unexpected. It is clearly unexpected as Faiga is forced to garrison all of these villagers, and now his TC is under assault as the Rattan archers are in the eco now from TRM. This game is getting messy once again. Eco lead in favor of TRM. We have far less villagers here from Faiga. He still has the fishing eco, but TRM is now sending the knights forward to support the mangonels, and he's also got a monastery of his own coming up as we have just a beautiful farm there from Faiga. He's trying to drop off all his resources without a building to do so, and he doesn't have enough wood for a lumber camp.
Oh, this is looking very rusty. Without that town center and not enough wood to make a nut, like...
He needs to buy wood. He needs to buy wood. It's simply, you have a market. You need to buy wood, my friend. But it's not happening.
He's really, I mean, he's in a little bit of a tough spot now that that town center is gone, and no TCs though means that idle time will not be increasing. Right now it's at 2 minutes and 9 seconds, and it's going to be frozen there in time until another TC gets built, if that's the case. Mr. Faiga still has those 5 fishing ships on the field. Those 4 Rattan archers, they're his only hope.
Yep, but TRM has got it under control, except maybe he doesn't because he has 0 on food right now, Ellie. TRM has no food economy whatsoever. He's forced to place some farms, and that's really going to impact his production. He is on stone, though, so he might be thinking about a castle to pressure Faiga. Faiga is still struggling. No TC Gaming, just now adding in his second town center, which is going to be his only town center at this stage of the game, and it's going to be on another stone. I think the follow-up here from TRM has been very nice, especially sending the knights forward to protect the siege that was kind of in an exposed position. But he's going to start running into problems with that food, right? The TCs won't be able to produce, and maybe that opens the door for Faiga to come back in this game. We need a monastery from Faiga, though. We definitely need a monastery. That's number one, because you need to have a threat against these mangonels, and converted knights are probably the only thing that you can do. Rattans aren't going to be enough. And they might just get nuked here.
Well,
these Rattans need to be very, very careful.
They killed 1 villager and they bounced out, so that's quite nice. Having this TC between some wood and some stone is also going to be great. Faiga, if his plan is to continue with Rattan archers, then having access to gold and wood is all he needs. And the food is just a bonus to get some upgrades.
Ooh, and that might be the set deciding castle here from TRM. Don't shoot your own castle foundation, please. You're raising my blood pressure here at TRM, shooting anywhere near that foundation. And he's going to get it figured out. This TC, it just went up, and it's just about to go down once this castle goes up from TRM, and the mangonels start pressuring. Faiga is under all sorts of pressure here. His wood eco still isn't under control. His food eco is still the fishing ships. He's got no gold supply. He's got only 450 stone in the bank. It's not enough to make a second castle of his own. He is struggling.
Well, that town center is in a little bit of a pickle as we have more villagers going to back. So at least gold access will still be had, but for how much longer? Those knights are going to loop around. They've got iron casting in. Only the first upgrade, but for the defense, but the eco for TRM. I mean, can he afford it right now? Probably not. he's in a pretty good spot, I would say. Do you think he is being a little too passive now, or do you think?
I think it's fine because he has the monk to heal up the knights, right? He probably could have taken out most of those Rattan archers. He probably could have won that fight, honestly, with the first armor upgrade. But he knows that his mangonels will keep applying pressure here. He knows the damage that he's done to his opponent. I think if you're TRM, you just have to make sure that your opponent isn't fish booming behind this. We know that Faiga isn't really because he hasn't had the wood to do so. As Faiga still continues to mass up these Rattans, and basically this is like, you micro well or you die. Because this is the only army he has. Some Rattans and Mangonels, and he's fighting up against 2 or 3 Mangonels in a choke point. Really, really tough.
And Faiga's Vietnamese, he saves wood on his eco upgrades. And he hasn't gotten any of them, so.
Well, he got wheelbarrow.
Okay, he got wheelbarrow.
Before the TC died, and the TC is about to die, as we see him at 35 villagers versus 62 from his opponent. I like that little wall off there, kind of limiting the mobility of Faiga as TRM adds in TCs behind, and TRM is turning Nomad, which is a hybrid land and water map, kind of just into a land map, which is the types of maps that he prefers. As we see the farms going down there, Faiga now trying to push out with his siege and his Rattans. Faiga maybe thinking about a forward castle drop to mix things up. That's basically the only way you're getting back in this game.
So it looks like Faiga's actually dropping another dock in the back of his base, and I think maybe he's realized that, all right, TRM is ignoring the water completely. Yep. Let's just go for the fish boom now. And
he's about 5 or 6 minutes too late for that.
Well, we'll see what he can do with this action here. Those Rattan archers, they have to contest though with those 2 Mangonels, and they're kind of scary. If those Mangonels weren't there, then these Rattans would have a really nice field day taking care of those villagers. Mining that stone, but TRM looks like he's going to have enough for another castle, and I just feel like it's going to be closer and closer, like even more deep in Faiga's base.
I think you make it defensively. I think you just need to buy yourself time, right? Like, you see all these houses, they're doing so well, and it was only a matter of time before the Mangonel shots came in. Big shots there from TRM. TRM bought himself so much time. Faiga is feeling the need to pressure TRM, right? You're not going to win if you just defend here as Faiga. And you see TRM now going for that castle. It's not too far forward. It's just kind of on that hill near the expired wood line. He's also looping around there with the knights, and he's controlling everything. And now Faiga is going to be like, all right, my only way back into this is forward castle, but I have nowhere to put it, and my villagers won't be safe going for it.
Oh no, so we're gonna lose another Mangonel. Faiga is in a very, he has good military numbers, but his economy very rusty. So every single unit that Faiga loses...
Oh, he's going to have to micro his heart out here. He's really going to have to micro against these Mangonels. He managed the splits a couple times, but now he loses the Mangonel over on the side. He's going to be able to snipe that monk. He's going to be able to find the second castle from TRM, and the Rattans will try and do work in TRM's eco. But remember, Faiga doesn't have a TC. He's stuck at 29 villagers, Ellie. Is there a way back into this game?
Well, he has his docks, and he does have 7 fishing ships. So there is potential if you really draw. I mean, the thing is, his wood economy, not having the first wood upgrade stings because his wood income is so slow, and these knights just...
This is really bad. This is really bad for Faiga. The knights are in.
There is a massacre happening, and
sometimes things get so bad you just need to chuckle. You know, he's gonna try. He's gonna try for the fans to get the castle up in the middle of TRM's base. Unfortunately for him, TRM's base is literally everywhere around the map. Look, he deletes it, puts it more forward. It's on a gold that nobody is taking, on production buildings that aren't making units. But he's got hope now with this castle going up in the center with 3 extremely exposed villagers. Knights and cav archers now from behind. Skirms, scorpions, everything. The villagers need to abandon. Faiga's given it all he's got. I don't think it's enough.
No, he's deleting it. He realizes, all right, maybe not.
He's sending more villagers on the right side of his base.
Oh,
and he's looking for a
dropped
castle
the castle. He's dropping it on the east side.
But there's buildings there, and TRM is making foundations. So Faiga cannot place that castle.
Oh,
it fits in perfectly.
Amazing. So Faiga's like, all right, let's try here. And maybe he'll protect his villagers this time, as we see these very, very attractive Magyar Hussars that are coming in to save the day. We have a few Rattan archers that are giving it all. They've got tower being built in defense for TRM.
And Faiga, will he even get this castle up is the question, right? That tower's got Bodcanero. It can range these villagers. What is the percentage on the castle? I think we need to know. The villagers are going down. The castle is trying to go up. Faiga is giving it all he's got. He's got 10 villagers, 7 fishing ships, 11 Rattans, 3 fire galleys, and a dream. And he's about to have no villagers. And GG in the chat window, as I think Faiga is just laughing right now, thinking about what he could possibly do with 6 villagers.
And a dream. That's the most important part. Oh, yeah. The castle! Oh, wait, no, it didn't go up. Never mind. We just flipped it. I was like, if that somehow went up, it would be crazy. But
that's TRM winning against Faiga, and well played to both of them.
My goodness, GG's. They were certainly entertaining. I think both players went out for a little bit of an interesting approach.
Yep, and TRM going for the unorthodox Magyars pick, right? The archer approach early because it was a sneak. He managed to find some success. He managed to deny that castle, kill some villagers, and then he followed it up really nicely with siege and knights. Faiga just battling, right? He's trying to make it interesting. He's trying to have fun there. And we're going to send it on over to TRM shortly. Congratulations to TRM for winning this Digitec Playground Age of Empires 2 Cup here. He is officially the best player in Switzerland, and he did a really, really nice job.
That was really entertaining. They certainly mixed it up. They kept us on our toes, turning a very open Arabia into a fast castle and turning a very hybrid map into just land aggression.
It was really, really well done. Shout out to Faiga as well. But we're going to be heading on over to our interview with our champion, TRM.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, may I have a round of applause for your Digitec Playground champion, TRM? Insanely well played. You told me right before this interview, very intense games. First of all, how was it to play on stage?
It's completely different than doing it at home. It's another thing. It's another thing. You're not used to the desktop, the settings. It's completely different.
But you managed fine.
Yeah, I did.
It's fair because both have the same disadvantages, the same setup. So basically same chances for both of you, and looks like you managed better.
100%. I also believe he was affected by... I don't think if we would have done it at home, it would have been the same performance as here, for example.
Now for more questions in depth. In game 1, we saw a lot of monks. Do you think monks are OP in this current meta?
They are. Sadly, they are.
They need a nerf?
I would completely erase them from the game.
Oh, okay. Radical. Okay. You find some applause here in the crowd. Were you surprised by your opponent's Civ picks?
No, I mean, I would have expected. Nowadays, what he picked, especially in Arabia, they are very strong, so I'm not surprised.
Okay. And, yep. Did you expect Faiga to go fast castle into Eagles on Arabia?
I would assume as soon as he saw my Civ, then he would like try something out of the blue, because he knows otherwise it's gonna be, I mean, Step Lancers versus Eagles, so yeah.
You took away kind of my next question. Do you think Step Lancers are strong in the current meta?
Against Eagles, they are, yes. And everything in general, yeah. You just micro them, attack, move, run, attack, move, so yeah.
Cool. And did you think about the time limit in game 1 with the monks?
I was aware of the time limit, and to be honest, that's the main reason why I kept raiding. I don't know if you noticed, but I was raiding because I know that would give me some extra score and would keep me on the game, especially on the highest score. So yeah, I thought about that.
That's why this guy's a professional, ladies and gentlemen. He knows what he's doing. For anyone here in the crowd watching, playing Age of Empires themselves, what advice would you give them if they say, hey, my dream would be to play on a stage like this one day, maybe?
But do you mean like a full-time or like...
Let's go semi-pro first.
Okay, then yeah, go ahead. I think the game is fun, completely fun.
Do you have like special, I don't know, routines you do, or you just play ladder and get better? Or what's your secret to becoming better?
Just play and like a book, just, okay, I did this, analyze what you have done, what the opponent has done. And in particularly, you need to pay attention to the games you lose, because that's how you learn. The ones you win mean nothing.
You always learn more from a loss than from a win, usually. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you very much. I'm gonna let you enjoy your prize money. Of course, second place also gets prize money. It's 500 francs for Feige. May we have a round of applause for a runner-up as well, please. Feige. Yeah, this is 500 francs for you. You can take it. Enjoy your Digitec voucher. Talking about the living room or gaming setup upgrade for you as well. I think, yeah, H is gonna run better after this tournament.
I plan this prize pool to spend on exercising machines. So.
okay, perfect. And for you, TRM, you have 800 Swiss francs Digitec voucher as the champion of the Digitec Playground Cup featuring Age of Empires. Thank you guys, enjoy your prize money. Thank you very much for the show, it was a blast to watch. I wish you guys a good weekend. Yeah, Dave and Ellie, I'm gonna give over to you one last time. Thank you very much for the wonderful cast, it was a blast to watch.
I wanted also to thank you everyone, including our beautiful casters. And thank you everyone at Burn Expo and everyone who came to watch our games. Thank you.
Thank you for the show. Thanks guys. So yeah, Dave and Ellie, thank you for your services. I let you guys close the show. We see each other tomorrow for the Swisscom Hero Cup around 12 o'clock. And I wish you guys a good Friday evening. Thank you.
Did you hear that, Dave? He called us beautiful.
I know. I won't let it go to my head. I won't let it go to my head. That was just a lot of fun. From our Grümpi stage game to that final there. I mean, game number one was insane. And shout out to Feige for knowing that he was probably in a losing position in game number two, but battling on and just making it entertaining, right? Like, can he get the castle up or not? Especially in game number one coming back. And you heard it from TRM. He's like, I think the stage kind of got to my opponent, right? But, you know, it was a fantastic set. And we're gonna, you know, take a little look back at some of the highlights throughout this set. But Feige, he brought entertainment value to this set, and TRM, he brought a lot of experience.
He also brought his baseball hat. We learned that keeps the light out of the eye.
And his game face too. I mean, he looks so serious.
He did. Ooh, look at that deep breaths here as he gets that victory.
Yep, and you heard it. He's like, playing up on the stage is nothing like at home. You know, winning on the stage is a completely different feeling. Of course, we had some wonderful people in the crowd here, wonderful people at home supporting us, and it's been a blast here at Digitec Playground Cup for Age of Empires 2. It's been a great time. Production, thank you for all of your efforts. Crowd members, thank you for being here. Ellie, thank you for co-casting.
Thank you for being here with me.
I'm still excited to spend the rest of my time here in Switzerland. Everyone's been so nice, and Herofest looks like a lot of fun. And I'm just happy to be here, and I'm happy that we got a bunch of good games.
I think we had amazing games from our Grümpi set to this best of 3. Every single game was exciting. Kept us on our toes. We didn't know what was going to happen next. And I think that's what competitive Age of Empires should really be all about. If you have always the meta, always the standard, get a little bit stale. But with Age of Empires, so many civilizations and maps keeps things interesting. And it just goes to show why we love this game.
And if you're a Swiss player out there and you're interested in getting involved in these events, join up the next time around. Because, I mean, just take a look. We had amateurs on the stage, and they were having a great time, and they were playing better than they've ever played, as we heard from Frozen Hot Pepper Pizza. Get involved in the community. Sign up in the tournaments. There's someone at your level that you can compete against, and maybe you can get a little bit better too, and eventually go up against someone like TRM. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in, production. Thank you everywhere, and to everyone involved. That's it for us here for Age of Empires 2. We appreciate your support. Ellie, thank you once again. It's been a blast.
Thank you to the viewers at home for watching, for everyone on stage and the production and the viewers in person. It was a great day, and I feel really happy now.
Great day for Age of Empires. Bye now.